Okay, here we are again. This one for the final time for the main story. And then I'm thinking it's probably, I don't know for sure, I'm thinking it's probably going to be a couple of streams to finish the post-game stuff. I just don't see it being done in one, honestly. Like, I kind of wish I could get it done in one, but I just don't see it happening. Which is a shame, because then it would give me a few days next week to kind of work around the fact that next week is Independence Day in the States, and the fireworks shop opened up. It's not really a shop, it's more of a tent. Opened up at our local grocery store not too long ago. So everyone and their grandmother will be outside popping those things off. I mean, honestly, starting this weekend and every single day from, you know, this weekend until well after the holiday is over next weekend. So I guess I'm kind of stuck next week. We're going to probably have bang, boom, pow going on in the background of the stream no matter what I do. So I guess it would have been nice to move on to a new project starting next week, but I thought about it and I said, no, you know what? Even if I tried to move on to a new project early in the week to avoid the holiday, people are still going to blow those things off. Doesn't matter. They blow them off in the middle of the day, so, you know. Alola mi amis. Something like that. Woody comment, some pocket lint. Oh, I don't know about the pocket lint. I think I'm good in that department, but witty comment nonetheless. So I don't know what the other one is. I'm sure that's the witty comment, but yeah. I mean, Explosion Day. Yes, that day indeed. And it's. I mean, from what I've heard before, because I've gone back and listened to my neighbors firing off fireworks, and they're loud in my ears because I'm literally right here, but like the microphone picks it up. It just doesn't seem like it's a gigantic explosion, so hopefully it should be okay. If it's not, I guess I'll apologize in advance for that, but we'll see if it works out anyway, because I can't really stop and not do any streams next week because I go back to work the following week, and I will be at work for 3 straight weeks, 8:30 to 5:30. Tutoring for the summer semester at the school, so I don't really have much of a choice in the matter. I kind of have to just keep trucking, because if I waited, I would be trying to do too many things at once, I think, catching up while going to work and all that. Wouldn't really work out. So we'll see how that all goes. But that's future me, for future me to worry about. For now, me has to worry about the fact that we have to go into the hole in the middle of the region. Once I boot up, I can show you. I had to stand on this rock for only one reason, to remind myself that I still didn't pick up the final league reward from Casseroya Lake, so I decided my last place that I'll stand on in the main story is this rock. I could not get on this rock on foot. The sides of it, even though it looks like there's a slope on this side that I could like run up, the sides of it were too steep, and it made me slide down it every single time. See, that there that I just did, it would not let me do that, like when I tried to get up here off screen, so I had to jump on top of this thing with my ride on. I don't know if that says anything about the video game or not, but I think it says I'm ready to be out of this world now. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to the finale of Pokemon Violet, the Stream Edition. We have defeated enough trainers at Casseroya Lake to get the TM for Hydro Pump. So there we go. That's all done. I think, did I get the one? I got the one for Blizzard that was up on Glaciato Mountain as well, right? I did remember to pick that up, I think. Hang on. Let me get this taken care of first. Blizzard would be down here somewhere. Yeah, okay, I did remember to go pick that up. So I think that's almost all of the TMs that are available now. Like I said before, the only one that we didn't have available is the one for Nasty Plot, and that's because you have to actually catch the Ruinous Quartet in order for that one to become available, because, excuse me, Miss Ryfor gives it to you in exchange as a reward for catching them. So since I did not want to catch them because I don't like the idea of giving biological super weapons to one of my teachers, I don't think anyone should be responsible for that, let alone a professor who would rather study ancient history than modern history and never learn from the mistakes we made along the way. Yeah, don't really want to do that. So since we're not doing that, we just defeated them last time along with taking care of Penny and Nimona. And now all that's left for us is to go through the Zero Gate and see what awaits us on the other side. Hopefully it's more frames than this, because good God, man. Like, just... It's gonna be so bizarre. I mean, I guess it won't be that bizarre because I'm playing a video game right now off screen that can consistently stay at 60 FPS, but it's gonna be so bizarre getting on the stream for the next game that I play and just being able to watch the game run smoothly. Like, I'll be in my prime for some reason. It'll be like I haven't seen that in ages, and I guess that's technically true because this playthrough is probably going to be like 18 episodes total. So that's kind of an age, but I'm ready to move back to 60 FPS if possible. I mean, I guess a consistent 30 would be fine too, but just a consistent frame rate would be nice at this point. Anyway, let's go up to the Zero Gate and meet up with our friends. Apparently, Nimona and Penny both called Arven. I mean, I imagine Nimona probably has his number because she bugs him all the time, but I don't know how... I mean, I guess Penny got his number by hacking my phone, so fair on her, I guess. But yeah, now the gate's open. It wasn't open previously, but it is open now, so we can head right inside and take care of the final quest line. So there you go. And hey, Hermie, how you doing? Welcome back as well. It was time for Mono to leave. He had seen everything. Oh, I'm Die. Thank you forever. Oh boy, something like that. I guess we'll grab one last gimme goal. Why not? I'll take your 1 coin as I head through the gate. I had seen enough. That was the point. I have seen enough of this video game to know that I no longer want to be here. Now, wouldn't it be a shame if that gate just magically closed behind us? No, that would require them programming the gate to actually move, and they did not do that. They programmed the gate to either be closed or open. It doesn't have an animation behind it, so... It's quite an interesting dome. Is it like geodesic in there? Is it like that one in Epcot where it just like pulls in the sunlight, or how does that work exactly? Okay, is there like an elevator or something? Because the crater goes pretty far down, so... Yeah, Miraidon. Oh, huh. This weird technological Cyclozar was born in a crater? Maybe. Not that I care about your dinosaur that we helped feed through, you know, hardship and trial with the Titan Pokemon, but maybe I care a little bit. Alright, fair enough. Again, I still don't know why they didn't call me. I guess they wouldn't have gotten any answers because I'm a silent protagonist. But here's the final quest line, The Way Home. So let's take Miraidon home, shall we? We are all set and ready to go. I didn't really bother with buying any extra potions and stuff, but I don't think we'll need them, honestly. Like, we've gotten so many just from picking stuff up. And I didn't even bother selling anything either. Like, I could have sold off a bunch of my stuff, but I guess we can just do that, like, later, after the credits roll. Kind of fancy with all the technology, though. Buenos dias, neighbor. It's actually more like Buenas noches, although the sun is still out and beating down on all of us outside. It's 90 degrees Fahrenheit outside right now still. So, of course you are, because you literally wouldn't be here unless you could battle something, because you have no thoughts in your head other than battle. Fair enough. You're not helping your situation, Nimona. Maybe we need to go down into the crater to find the awesome Pokemon. I mean, it looks like the electricity's up and running on the computers, it's just the lights are... Oh, okay. Well, that works. Yeah, I was going to say, probably our friend who's good with machines and hacking and stuff saw the computers and said, oh, I know how to get the lights on. Well, that's probably fair. It doesn't look like anybody's manning this station right now. Probably all the researchers that were here, they probably, like, had to drop their post here in order to go to the academy, since they had to do a whole shifting of the guard a year and a half ago. So... She said she got the power turned on by hacking the system, and the first thing you notice is the EV bag that's not even facing you. Fair enough. I get the feeling these two are going to get along swimmingly. Oh, fair enough. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't want to make it sound like... Yeah, but I don't want to make it sound like you're obligated. If you don't want to go, you don't have to. She followed a code before we got here, so... This is not your Tinder page, Arven. Slow down. Hi, Professor. I'm surprised you haven't been, I was going to say, expecting everybody else, especially your son. That would be Professor Turo. And that, too. What do you mean, probably? What's your suspicion here, Arven? I mean, he is just throwing out our student ID numbers for whatever reason. I mean, I don't think anybody needs to know what those are. Sounds like a good way for all of us to get doxxed. Yeah, I was going to say, we're going to need to go further down before you meet in person. Right now, and I don't think he did, so... Okay, well, it looks like the elevator's still working at the very least, so that's good, I guess. We'll talk later, son. Aye. You could say that. It's a long story. You gonna be okay, buddy? Yeah, I guess so. We gotta give that professor a stern talking to when we get down there. I could just let, like, sick Nimona on him, because all she'll want to do is battle. Maybe that'll, like, break him out of his funk. Yeah, I was gonna say, probably... I'm surprised that he didn't make his way up and out of here when everything happened at the school previously. Like, you'd think that the professor of the region would have decided, you know, maybe since all of my researchers are leaving, I'll go with them to the school. So. Oh, phone is charged. I live. Okay. I didn't realize that was what the previous comment was about. Welcome back. We haven't done anything. We had a conversation with the professor that basically said, Arven, we'll talk later. Go down into the crater now. You know, you could have a computer saying all of these things instead of doing it yourself. It would probably save you some time and energy. Probably the professor. What do you mean above Area 0? I did, yes. I mean, you can literally find its Pokeball on your GPS. I don't know why you're asking me. But yeah, thanks to the fact that we learned how to have Miraidon glide, we can glide down into the crater. Which makes me wonder how they all got down there without Miraidon in the past. But, you know, I don't know if they thought that part through all the way. They just wanted to have a cool cutscene where Miraidon glides into the crater. Well, there is only one way out of this, so... Although, actually, now that I think about it, even if... This is the weird thing, is that, like, you go down in there, and there's, like... You can call a flying taxi down there, I'll just say that much. If you get into a jam in the crater, you can still call a flying taxi down into the crater, and they'll come pick you up. I don't know if there's any additional dialogue about it, because I would think that would be incredibly inconvenient for them, but... You can call a flying taxi down there. So maybe they just took a flying taxi down into the crater when they had to work. I don't know. Okay, it's the cool part, right? This is the big reveal, right? With all the funky stuff? Yeah, you what? You can just call a flying taxi. Like, I would appreciate it if you could not call a flying taxi in this part. Like, basically your friends all said, you know, once we go down there, I don't think we can get back very easily. Are you sure you're ready? Or something like that, just to kind of hint to the player. Maybe go back and buy some supplies or something like that. But again, for the sake of convenience for the player, you can't ever have a hard time in this video game because the game just lets you leave if you so choose, even though I have 6 million healing items. I don't know how I feel about that, but we're here now, so I don't have much of a choice. Alright, Houseplant and Roxas need to do a little bit of fighting in order to get up to 66 with everybody else. They're pretty close, and then the captain's pretty close too, right? Yeah, 17, 700, 26, yeah. So the captain will probably get to 65 just from the rest of them getting to 66, but we'll do a little bit of exploring around and, you know, fighting around while we're there. I'm going to save at the top, even though we can leave at any time, just because I feel like it'll be easier. Okay, we ready? How's the A-team feeling? Quite a ways, considering I fell for a long time before the game stopped me way back in the day when I tried to jump in here. Well, yeah, most lighthouses aren't hundreds of feet up. Sure, I'm ready for the worst. Alright, Miraidon. You heard the fellas. Let's go see the place you were born. Oh god, it's like we took him to the vet. He's like, I'm not going out there. Are you crazy? No, I think he's scared of Area 0, actually. I think you're just gaslighting him, which I don't appreciate. Please stop gaslighting my technological lizard. You're making him very uncomfortable. It's not a wonder I have such a weird relationship with these people when they scream about... Well, they didn't scream about it, but they talk about Professor Turo railroading people into things, and here we go, just forcing Miraidon to do this, even though he doesn't seem to want to. But alright, we're on our way now. Here we go. Take us in, Miraidon. Let's see what's waiting inside the Great Crater of Paldea. Public transport in Pokemon is something else indeed. Yeah, it's a hard time down there. I wish it was. Nice rainbow. The water texture doesn't quite hit the water down there, guys. You might want to try that one again. And if you thought the texture work on the main game was... Okay, that actually wasn't... Okay, maybe it's like 200, 300 feet down, but... I was gonna say, if you thought the texture work in the main game was a little bit of something else, well, with all the clouds above this place refracting the sunlight, it's gonna look like somebody turned the bloom up in here. The whole time! Isn't that lovely? Penny, you aren't a cat. You don't have 9 lives. There is no game over condition unless we die. You'll be alright, buddy, I know. You don't want to be here. Get back in the ball if you don't want to be here. We'll take care of this. You did your job. Thanks. I told him he could, so I can't be... No, it's not hunger. It's fear, Arven. I can see it. You were literally talking about this before. Oh yeah, we lost Nimona already. Well, that's fun. And nothing of value was lost. She's fine. She was literally sitting between... No, she was sitting between me and Arven, so she'll be fine. No, she was sitting between Arven and Penny. And she is fine. She literally just wandered off to go check on the wild Pokemon so she could see. I mean, you could say that, I guess. She does beat to her own drum. And Professor, you're still sounding a little, like, stiff in there. Like, robotic. Are you sure you're okay? There we go. Now he's starting to sound a little more human-like. Yeah. His sarcasm readings are off the charts here, apparently. I mean, he hasn't really spoken with anyone, as far as I'm aware, outside of me in a couple of conversations since, what, like a year and a half ago? He's been working down here all by himself? Why did they leave him down here anyway? Like, you would think with the researchers all leaving their posts, they would have been like, we should probably go pick up Professor Turo, since, you know, he's the most important researcher in here. Like, why did they leave him? Wow, made in Abyss for the Nintendo 64? I never thought it would be possible. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we got to make it to the Zero Lab, which is all the way down in the crater. But we have to unlock the 4 locks, because apparently he can just control everything remotely, despite the interference that the clouds would probably have on all electronics, except for the locks on the exterior locks. Why are those not unlockable? But yeah, there's 4 research stations. Each one has a lock. Look for this building, unlock the lock, and then make our way down. It's like one path to get down there. There's a couple of places where you can get lost, quote unquote, but it's like a dead end, and then you have to go back to the split, and that's it. Let's just get this over with. Please stop trying to lampshade this crap. I'm so done at this point. Let's just go. So now, and also your friends, the Peanut Gallery, get to accompany you on your journey. They'll be behind you this whole time. And I can't hear the music, which is a travesty. Hold on. It should be kicking in anytime now. There it goes. Just gonna catalog this for posterity real quick. The school's gonna want to have this for the report anyway. Okay, that's one. But yeah, they can actually get Corviknight down here, so if Corviknight were actually, you know, available to, I don't know, fly around, if the Tinkaton weren't trying to murder them. That's a thing in the Pokedex, by the way. The Tinkaton try to murder the Corviknight, so that's why Corviknight can't be used for flying taxis in this region. But quite a few cool Pokemon down here. A Venomoth. And again, Venomoth is much bigger than I thought it would be, so. Oh, he's just resting in his Pokeball. I told him he could. This is what I mean. There's like a split and it goes to a dead end. Yeah. Oh, is that all? We just got to turn on the waterworks. Who just says the word pipsqueak now? Well, see, he's huffy because he doesn't want to be here. I sort of forced him to come down here, so... pardon me, Venomoth. I'm having a terrible time wading through this waist-deep water to grab this 3 bottles of fresh water from underneath this waterfall. Why can you all just walk through this like it's nothing? Like, why am I the one stuck waiting like I'm in a fishing video game? Probably because I wasn't meant to go that way. Oh yeah, you can get a Citrus Berry and Lumberry and that sort of stuff down here as well. So it's not just the Pokemon League, and I think there was one of the North provinces we could find them too, but you can get those down here too. I want to get some more pictures of the Pokemon, but my friends keep running into the pictures, and I definitely don't want pictures of them in the report, so... Not for nothing, guys. It's fine. You're all fine. I'm trying to do I'm trying to catalog this for posterity. Like, if I tried to take it now... Oh. They're gone. I guess it's really just me down here, then. Wow, this really turned into Digital Devil Saga 2 all of a sudden, didn't it? No, they're not gone. It's just they're too close to the camera. Okay, now get out of the way so that the Jumpluff can have a fun little picture. There we go. So far, nothing out of the ordinary, though. Like, most of the Pokemon we've seen aren't really anything we... I guess Corviknight is unique. We didn't see anything other than Corvisquire up in the top layer, but... Maybe I should get a picture of the Corviknight flying around. I can't take a picture while they're dialoguing? Damn it. I mean, to be fair, these Corviknight would probably rip my head off if I stood still anyway, because they're probably wild, but... You know. It actually probably wouldn't be a bad idea, though, for... Hi, Girafarig. I thought you were going to run directly into me. Are you... Okay. I was going to say, are you waiting for everybody to stop talking? Because I guess that's fair, but... Corviknight beat you to the punch there. There's also a wild Chansey directly next to me, so I'll have to keep that in mind. Roxas, I think you should be able to handle this with a couple of Thunder Punches. I know it's got high physical bulk, but I don't have a special electric type move, so... Hey, Leonidas, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. This is not a blind playthrough, no. This is the third time I want to say I'm playing through the game all the way. Second time? I forget. It's either the second or third time all the way through. Wow, you actually KO'd all the way. Well, I guess we got a level advantage, so... Still, good experience. And sorry for not answering for a little bit because, you know, just got the whole area to work with here. Are those freaking quest marker sparkles? This place is the ominous place equivalent of LaCroix. It's nothing, just some god rays. Is it okay that you're ignoring the dialogue? There's nothing important there at this point. Yeah, no, they're basically just saying, how did you meet the main character? And it's like, well, I met them on some strange adventure. It's like, okay, yeah, cool. I probably should have waited. I could have backed up. Are you going to run all the way into me this time? Yep, okay. I could have waited a little bit and probably could have caught a picture of that giraffe egg grazing instead of having to murder it. Captain, Dark Pulse. Sorry, do I plan on playing the DLC? I do not, unfortunately. I don't own it, but I am at the point where I've played enough of this game to not want to play it again, basically. That sounds bad. I'm Pokemon'd out by the time this playthrough is over, because we still have about 2 episodes of post-game stuff that I want to do. So I will be ready to do something other than Pokemon once that's done. But, yeah, so I'm not planning on doing the DLC. Sorry if that was an expectation, but... No, maybe this was a dried-up riverbed at some point. Would have been a little bit of a weird waterfall, but I've seen crazier. Guess that's one of the stations down there. Starting to look like North Province Area 1 in here. All the Hawlucha hanging around. I think that one, I was going to say, just tried to flying press off the frickin'... Alright, let's see. Corviknight. I feel like I'm playing Pokemon Snap at this point. Hang on, Corviknight. I got to get you and the Braviary in the picture. Braviary, come over here! Catch a glimpse! I know you want to fight. No? Alright, fine. Just take the Corviknight picture. There we go. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go... Oh, wow, there's 2 of them. I'm going to go get one of the other birds I can see around here. I took like a million pictures when I went on my vacation, so I guess I'm kind of just in the picture sort of a mood. These Braviary don't seem to be in the picture sort of mood, though. So, see if I can gather a couple of Venomoth up for a good pick, too. How you feeling? I don't think I'm going to be able to do that from here. Yeah, I was going to say, if that Corviknight doesn't move a little bit, we can probably get a grazing picture once that giraffe rig starts grazing again. Venomoth's like, well, you made me stand here. Are you going to take my picture? Or what? Oh, God. I'm being bamboozled. Oh, no. Unfortunate, but you understand. Yeah, no, it's, like I said, it's not really anything specific. I just don't... I don't think I'd have it in me after playing through the whole game, so... yeah, Roxas, you could do a little bit. 0 is less than 1, so this must be the easiest part of the game, huh? I would hope so. We'll find out as we go down. I feel like if I remember correctly, I don't think you have to start at... Like, if you get to one of the stations and you decide you want to flying taxi out, I think you can just fly to one of the stations, if I remember correctly. You don't have to, like, start all the way down, but I don't remember. It's been a little bit since I played it, honestly. Jesus Christ, Braviary, you're gonna hurt yourself. You keep diving like that. There's nothing there. Alright, this might be a good opportunity. Is there a zoom in button? There's filters, rotate camera, reset camera, point camera, change music. It's a camera app. Why do you want to change music? A meditating Medicham? I just kind of want to see what this giraffe rig does while it's down, like, doing this. I want to see it grazing. That would be nice. Corviknight. Go on, I know you're hungry. The Pokemon Snap is coming out, as you can plainly see. I played the one for N64 a lot as a kid. You're going to walk out of the picture behind this tree, aren't you? Crafty. Alright, well, yeah, I played the original Pokemon Snap quite a lot as a kid, so I have, whoop. Sorry, Floette, barely saw you until the last minute. I was paying too much attention to the Chansey right behind us here. Well, Roxas, you're good against this one too, so. Electric Poison, huh? What a typing. Wonder if that Chansey's still going to be there. I could probably do a little switch training. Not that I really need to at this point, because we're pretty well stacked in terms of, like, being able to fight stuff. But, oh, and there's a shiny item on the ground there, too. I wonder... No, I was trying to think, like, oh, well, this might be a pretty good place to do some Chansey training with the, excuse me, sandwiches as well, but the problem is that there's other normal types down here, like Girafarig and Braviary and all that stuff, so they would probably take up the space, unfortunately. Alright, Chansey. And this one's only level 52 anyway, which is only slightly higher than the ones that you can find in North Province Area 3 to begin with, so... We'll just switch right on down the line, put the special attackers in first, and get in a physical attacker. And then we'll knock this thing out for some quick last-minute experience. And then after that, I can probably just, instead of trying to fight things, I can just do what I'm supposed to be doing, which is taking pictures. For my school book report. Yeah, ew, convenient. Same, get some extra points by getting the rainbow in there in the shot, keyboard betrayal. That's okay. Yeah, I knew what you meant once I saw that you got that there. Trying to get a little bit of that camera app action going. I didn't take too many pictures of the Pokemon out in the middle of the world. I mean, I suppose... I was going to say, I don't think this is going to work because you're a wild Pokemon, but... I suppose most people could just take pictures of any old thing they could find up on the surface, but not a lot of people can take pictures of the stuff down here, so at least I can give them an exclusive scoop. And we get to hear the Area 0 battle theme for a little bit more of an extension. So that's cool. Get that bass guitar in there. Who hasn't come in yet? Roxas and Shaylee haven't come in. We'll put Shaylee in last. Oh, there's a cave in Area 0 that only spawns Chansey, but you can't access it without Miraidon. Okay, well, I mean, that would probably be okay, because as long as Miraidon gets over his trauma by the time the game is over with, you could probably come here in the post-game and spawn Chansey in that cave. So I guess that would be your best spot for grinding in the post-game, if you wanted to. There might be better places in the DLC to do it, but I haven't played the DLC, so I couldn't tell you one way or the other if that's true or not. Oh, wow. You actually have used all of your other moves in the process of using Last Resort. I wonder if the AI just got lucky with that or what, but... Yes, it doesn't matter. Get out of here, Chansey. And yeah, just a little bit of experience for everybody. Not a terrible amount, but... enough to get us a little closer to our next levels, so... Corviknight, you're going to have to wait in line. Disappear from existence because we have a cutscene to go through. What are the chances of this encounter? Probably not particularly high at the moment, but I didn't make a sandwich before coming down here. I hope we don't have to be through here for too long. I'm gonna get hungry by the end. Was that supposed to be a joke, Arven? Are you trying to be funny now? Oh, God. This motley crew. Oh, a Glamora. I've seen this Pokemon before. I mean, I've seen Glimmet up on the surface, but maybe the adults are down here and they spawn the Glimmet. Well, we get to take it on together with Nemona, so I guess that's fine. Credit where it's due. That's a neat little prefab. I mean, they did a pretty good job of, like, you know, integrating it into the environment without it looking like it's just, you know, stuck out in the middle of nowhere, but... I probably could have just switched Shaylee in there, because this thing is quad weak to... Well, no, because then I catch Lycanroc in the crossfire of my Earthquake, so... Or you could just drill run it to death right away. That works, too. Thanks for the free EXP there, Nemona. We'll just have to make sure we don't walk on toxic debris while we're at it. If you were thinking about catching this Glamora, you might want to knock out Nemona's Pokemon first, although her Lycanroc is very fast, so might be a little tricky. I think they're available in the wild further down, like once we get into the caves and stuff down there, so if you want to catch it, might be better to do it when you're in a battle. by yourself, so. No, I don't know if it's patronizing. He's literally seen stuff. Like, he's been down there, so. Like, Nimona, come on. Like, it's not even, like, it bleeds into the gameplay at this point. She's not even just saying things. It's just, the gameplay is literally reflecting her lust for battle. This is why you can't catch Pokemon, Nimona, because you're so enthralled with the idea of, what can I use to knock this thing out? You just kill everything. An apricot berry. Didn't know those were available down here. Probably key berries are available down here too, then, if that's the case. Trying not to get the railing in this picture. Or my hand. What the hell? Get that out of here. I probably have to step back from the railing to get that out of here. There we go. Ish. Anyway. We've seen wild frostmoth up on the surface too, but... No, someone left a citrus berry at the door. That was nice of them. Alright, research station number 1. Is that supposed to be a bed in the corner there? Pretty sure the beds in Pokemon XD were textured better than this. I think they actually had covers. Yes, we have, Professor. Explains why some of the tech looks a little older. They literally, like, went to bed in the same place they did research. I would think they would have a living area or something instead of it just being in the same room. But yeah, you can actually use that bed to recharge your party if you want to do that, so I probably will. Maybe not at this station, but you can do it if you choose, so. Alright, that's one lock. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it probably hasn't been made in forever, so I'd probably end up with, like, bed bugs or something if I rested in it. I may do it anyway, but it doesn't matter. Oh, good. They didn't make other rooms in here. He probably worked at each of these stations, honestly. What's with the teleporter? Oh, you can just leave if you want to from each research station. I suppose each Pokemon game needs a mandatory teleporter thing because they all have teleport puzzles in them, but this isn't so much of a puzzle as it is even more convenience because you can just teleport out of here if you want to. All right. Oh my god. He literally just said one line of dialogue and you're already harassing him for it. Give him a break. Good lord. Yeah, like, seen him in person. I wonder why his emails stopped a couple of years ago. That's a little bizarre. Hey, Raichu, you want to be in a picture for the school book report? I was gonna say, guys, you better hurry up this little conversation because I want to take the picture before that Corviknight dive bombs me. Alright, can I get Raichu in this picture with the waterfall? No, probably not. Corviknight, you might be in a picture too. Again. There you go. Oop. Sorry, Floette. I was looking at Raichu instead of looking at you. I've seen this exact room in Gale of Darkness. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked, honestly. I'm pretty sure I've seen something very similar as well. Freaky bedbugs from an alternate dimension or something. Yikes. Yeah, right you are. Right you are, even. Maybe if we do this... Like, hang on. Let's try to get a picture like this. I mean, Corviknight's going to kill me in about 2 seconds. There he goes. But, see if we can get you and your friend in there. Oh, okay. Hi, Corviknight. You decided to stick around, huh? Fair enough. Sorry, but I gotta bounce. I'm not here for fighting anymore. I fought a Chansey. That's enough. I'm here for book report. You don't have to take any pictures, by the way. I don't think that I didn't really make that explicitly clear yet, but like I'm literally just taking the pictures for the hell of it. I don't have to do it. Jump bluffs, you want to be in the pic? You gotta come a little closer to the camera. So oh, hang on. No, I know a better way of doing this. Hold on. Do this. All right, do this, and then do this, and then, aha. I don't know if I can get the rainbow in the picture though. If I do this. Let's see if I can get that other one over my shoulder. Yeah, no rainbow in this picture, but I was gonna say, go on, strike a pose, all of you. I can't remove the HUD so I can see if it's good, but you guys are desynced. You're gonna have to strike a pose together. That's good enough. All right, let's keep going. Oh, well, what was it? Do you, give us some details in case we run into it again. Metallic machine thing? Oh, wow, it goes down even further here. I can't take the picture. They're talking, and I'm going to get attacked by a braviary while I'm at it. But that's okay. The Pokemon down here are starting to get a little stronger, huh? I'm just going to stay in. I think Interceptor should be able to take any one hit. Yeah, and do that. Yeah, easy. That's that impish nature. I'm doing homework. F off, Jimmy, to a 2-ton metal bird. I mean, you're not wrong. I don't fear the metal bird. I have Pokemon that can knock it out. Penny, please, I'm trying not to be precarious about this, so... I don't actually know what happens if you fall off a cliff here. I imagine you just end up back up, but I don't know for sure, so... Oh, the camera was not moving for a sec. Ooh, okay. For a second there. Let's try not to get the rocks below me. There we go. Figures, I'd be the kind of person who would do homework while going on a grand adventure in a place like this, right? But I have to take the picture so that the people know what's down here. Anybody could take any old pictures they want up top. I'm like one of only a few people that can come down here. I think you slide down this if I remember right. Yeah. So that's fun. I get to go snowboarding one last time. Kind of. Sandboarding. We can get back up if we just click go back up, but like, I don't need to, you know. If I need to get back up, I'll just take the teleporter because there's a teleporter in here, so. Alright, station number 2. The wind would likely blow you back up, actually. I mean, it depending on how much of a gale you get down there, you'd probably just get flung back. Usually when you go to, I think I showed it off like way back at the beginning of the game. Usually when you go to fall off of a cliff, the game like sort of forces you to not fall off the cliff. They push you backwards. And then you just have to keep going, and, you know, then it'll let you fall off the cliff after they already said, oh, are you sure you want to do that? But I guess I could have slid into it if I really wanted to find out what happened. You're already tired, Nimona? Come on now. That wasn't a compliment. Yeah. I mean, there's some fairly familiar Pokemon down here. I've run into a lot of things I've seen before, but that don't look like no Delibird I've ever seen. It looks a little metallic. Penny, I think your glasses need adjusting. They don't seem to have the right, I thought it said die for a second. Whoops. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, every time you fight down here, at least while these like cutscenes are happening, it's a fight with one of your friends. So, if you want to catch these, again, it might be better to do that later. Although in this particular case, you probably could catch this Iron Bundle because Penny's got her Umbreon out. So maybe we'll try it. Let's give it a shot. I'm glad it's focusing on Umbreon, considering. But if I catch it, I won't have to take a picture of it for the book report, because I can just, you know, I can just have it. Alright, water, ice type, it has freeze dry. I mean, Yukiko's probably a pretty safe switch. And if Umbreon just keeps using Dark Pulse, I mean, it's like a 4-hit KO, so we should be able to throw some Pokeballs at this starting next turn. I can't do dynamic camera because we're on a whatchamacallit, an incline here. Nah, it's a 3-hit KO, but it's down in the yellow and it's asleep now, so that might actually be prime realistic. I can't throw a ball at it. You're kidding. Okay, fine. I guess I'll knock it out then. This is the perfect opportunity to let me throw a ball at it to catch it for, I don't know, something interesting, and you just won't let me use a Pokeball in these battles? Alright. They just used the name, thought it'd be a question mark encounter. You would think, yeah. But, and apparently I'm the only one who could see that because Penny doesn't even know what it was. I wonder if she just doesn't have the Pokedex app installed or what. But, well, guys, it says in the Pokedex, it's an iron bundle. Interestingly enough, and I don't think it's really interesting so much as it is really annoying, the Pokemon that are exclusive to Pokemon Scarlet that are found in Area 0, which are Pokemon from the past rather than the future, are also in the Pokedex in Pokemon Violet. It's really weird. I don't know why they would be, because you literally can't encounter them in Pokemon Violet, and vice versa for Scarlet, so why even have them here? Like, why not just have the Pokemon that are from the future replace those in the Pokedex, so that you don't have to, like, get both of them? But, I mean, I guess they're trying to encourage people to, oh, get both games, or have a friend that gets the other version, or something like that, but I don't know. It feels weird from, like a world standpoint, not from a mechanical standpoint, but from like an in-game aesthetic standpoint. So you want to catch your breath in this moldy, like, lab place? I was gonna say, is that like similar to the one that attacked you in Mabostiff last time, Arven, or you didn't read the Violet book? It's literally sitting in the lobby, but yeah, it's probably similar to Iron Treads, so. Although I suppose, you know, they haven't, like, seen Iron Treads. Only Arven and I have seen Iron Treads. I don't know if they're, like, considered Pokemon yet, but the Pokedex sure registers them. So, I mean, if it's in the Pokedex, it's got to be a Pokemon, but Pokemon come in all shapes and sizes. And there's also that, so. Yeah, Professor, can we get the DL on this one? Oh, okay. So how did they get here from the future? Did Bill finally finish his time capsule, or what? Although that really wouldn't work that way, would it? I mean, I guess from the moment that it was invented, it could have been used in the future to send something back without disrupting the timeline, but, you know. That's why they're version exclusives. It's like saying Groudon shouldn't be in Sapphire. I don't agree with that, because I think Groudon in Sapphire, it's not in the region, but it exists within the world. The Pokemon from Scarlet can't exist in the world of Violet because there is no past travel, there's only future travel. Like, in Sapphire, Kyogre and Groudon can exist simultaneously because they're both Pokemon that exist in the natural world. These Pokemon come from different times, and weird time stuff that's going on here, I can't really talk too much about it till we get further down, but it doesn't go backwards in this game. It only goes forwards, and it only goes backwards in Scarlet. So I don't agree with that logic. I see where you're coming from, I just don't agree, that's all. So. Alright, see you in a minute then, Chris. Was a time machine, apparently. Oh, okay. I guess you already knew that, and it's working. Well, what was the cost, then? So you've only managed to get things from the future, then? Is it because there's, like, data being sent back and forth? Again, this is sounding an awful lot like Bill's time capsule. Although, to be fair, we haven't played Gen 2 yet to actually see the time capsule, but, you know. I was going to say, this would probably be easier to explain face-to-face, but... Alright, well, sorry you're not getting an explanation, Arven, but we do have a job to do. Alright, there we go. Yeah, probably. I mean, the guy that wrote it, he was the last one that was down here besides the researchers that worked on your dad's team, right? So... I wonder why it's all fallen to me. You sure? Alright, I'll take it. The Violet book. It's only been sitting in the thumbnail for 15 streams now. Huh. I guess this is explicitly Professor Turo's book. It's got his name on the inside cover. Well, I'll make sure it doesn't get lost. I hope it doesn't, you know, get lost. I don't just throw it off a cliff or something. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's a little bit of a tone shift from what was going on out in the middle of the wilderness, where it's just us wandering around. I'm glad you're happy, I guess. Yeah, we can use the teleporter to go back up if we so choose, so... But I don't choose, so let's keep going down. I think if I remember correctly, there is one part of this area... Oh, it's just a flow-at, okay. Where, like, sometimes I get off the beaten path, but I don't remember. Oh, so that's what's up with Nemona's parents. They're, and that's why she lives in a mansion as well, because she's, you know, her parents have a lot of money. It's not a wonder she rubs me the wrong way. If there's any advice from a video game that I've actually taken to heart, it's Joker's line from Mass Effect 2 where he says, "Yeah, I don't trust anybody who's above my pay grade." Honestly, that's worked out better for me than anything else from any other video game. So. Pen, huh? Oh, wild masquerade. Oh my god. She is a pretty good cook. Oh, they don't even let you talk about, like... They don't even lampshade. I'm kind of surprised. I figured they would have lampshaded, like, "Hey, so your mom seems super nice. What happened to your dad?" I guess that's never really been something that the games have discussed, unless it's like Gen 3, where it's like, you know, your dad is actually around. I think this is the spot where I got confused, because I think before, instead of going in the direction I did go, I went in the opposite direction, like over to the left there, and ended up, like, on a cliff face or something. Probably over there somewhere. I don't think... Is there a map? No, there's no map, actually, to show if you're getting lost or not, so that's probably part of the reason why sometimes I get turned around here, is because you can't see where you're going. Well, that's a gaping maw, if I've ever seen one. Good lord. Should take a picture of that, too. How can I take a good... See, this would be a prime spot to take the picture, but there's a giant boulder in my way. Alright, take a picture of the abyss here, through the fence post. I don't know if I like that, taking it through the fence posts. Hopefully my hand's in the way again, damn it. Alright, back up a little bit. Maybe clip a little bit of the fence post out of this. I'm gonna say that. There. They're gonna be like, "What the heck is that?" I'm gonna be like, "I couldn't get a better picture of the cave." Oh well. Hey, lol. Yo, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Boulder and Brash, welcome back, Chris. Yeah, there's a cave next to the station, so I can probably just take a picture of that one as well. So, unless the cave you're talking about is the cave where the Chansey spawn, which, I mean, that would be good to know, honestly. I'm probably not going to use it for a training method, but you never know. My friends are still doing their draft league, so once I have a completed save file on this, if they ever decide to invite me in for one of the seasons, having access to a cave with high-level Chansey, once I get all the EVs out of the way for the Pokemon, might not be a bad thing to have, so... Well, that's usually how this has worked, honestly, Penny. Something jumps out at us, we disable the lock, and then off we go. Oh, not this guy again. Yeah, so I think you and I can take this one down a peg, Arven. You know, maybe if you explored more of the world instead of just focusing on the gym challenge, Nimona, you would have fought the Titan Pokemon. And then you could have added something to your resume. Alright, let's do this. Oh, there's something better in that cave? Okay, well, I'll go take a look. So, anyone having a Alolan Vulpix for trade? I didn't even know you could get a Alolan Vulpix in this game, so I guess that kind of answers that question. I don't, sorry. But you can ask around, maybe. Well, wait, that's not the same building model, is it? It may not be. We can look at it in just a second to find out. I don't think Interceptor's a good Pokemon to have in for this part. I'm just going to switch in the Captain, actually. I was going to switch in Shaylee, but Earthquake, and I don't want to knock out my boss diff, so... He had a hard enough time with that earlier when, you know, Arven was in here last time, so we'll just switch in an Aura Sphere. I was going to say, that did a lot for an Intimidate, but it was a crit, so of course it did. Alright, I think actually Water Pulse would be a little bit more effective because it's 90 base power after Mega Launcher, and then more after Stab, and then more after Super Effective. So. Alright, well, that takes care of that. Nice and easy. Only got a couple more Pokemon left to get to 67, and then we'll be, I think, pretty much good to go. Because I think if I remember right, 67 is where a lot of people... I actually don't know, now that I think about it, where people stop. Like, what the final level cap in the game is, quote-unquote. So... Nimona, I just said it. If you literally did anything other than the gym challenge, you would have had a chance to meet all these weird Pokemon. There is that, though. If that... I mean, it was the only one that got out of the crater. He probably did try to keep them under control. It was just that one was, yeah, I was going to say, a mistake. So, okay, let's take a look. All right, and just remind me about the cave once we get out of here as well, the one that's next to this station. It might be, yeah, because the buildings squared off on the side. No, it isn't. Never mind. It's that's the cave you're talking about over there. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. This, it looked like the building was squared off, but it's got the hexagon, so it's probably the same building model. It just has vines growing on it, I guess. So. Alolan Vulpix is a DLC Pokemon? Oh, okay, gotcha. Highest level is 100. It's 100. Gotcha. You do, but you love your little Flurry and will not trade her. Don't even think you can transfer the new games, actually. Okay, yeah, and fair enough. That makes sense, so... I mean, so far so good. I've got elixirs up the wazoo, so even if I need power points, I can fix that. No, I think she has an idea. Right. Probably. That's probably why they all look like they're all futuristic and stuff. Yeah, that seems likely, honestly. I wonder if that's why he's just... I mean, he, again, probably has a little bit of... a traumatic experience in Area Zero, but I can't imagine the jet lag from traveling backwards from the future is very pleasant. Already get enough jet lag traveling in the present. She's got a mind like a steel trap, huh, Arven? Alright, spill the beans. Oh. Okay, well, I mean, if you were listening in, you didn't have to let him start. You could have just said, I'll take it from here. Oh, okay. You managed to pull a legendary Pokemon on your first try in the time machine gotcha? What the hell is your luck, man? But yeah, it's a futuristic form of Cyclozar, basically. It makes me wonder what happened in terms of like the technological singularity in the future that would cause all the Pokemon to be made of iron, quote unquote. It's definitely not iron, but the word iron is in all of their names except Miraidon. Although you can take out the word iron from Miraidon's name if you pull out a few letters, so I guess it's better than Iron Cycle or something. Wait, you pulled 2 legendary Pokemon from the Time Machine Gacha? Yeah, but then why would mine have been, like, apprehensive about even coming down here? I don't think that's the case here. I think you guys are reading into this too much. And I think Arven's definitely reading into this because he wants to see his dad again deep down. He has a lot to say to him, but I think he just wants to spend time with him. M. Iron Dan, yeah. I'm Iron Don. Something like that. Alright, so there's still 1 lock. And there's still 1 research station. How we doing, team? Let's take a look. Was I fully healed? At what point? When did I get... Okay. Huh. Excuse me. I don't know when that happened or who pulled the trigger on that one, but thanks, I guess. It saves me a little time. Then what's the point of the bed, though? That's bizarre. I don't know what that's all about. I mean, I guess it's better than some of the story stuff we got in this game, but that's not what I want in Emona. If anything, I might want to capture some of them. That depends, Arven. What's happening in your family, you can't let that reflect what happens in every family. Some families aren't exactly nice. Well, the gaping maw is there. I'll wait for them to be... Oh, there's the Farigiraffe. So that's the evolved form of giraffe rig down there. I'll wait for them to stop yapping so I can take the picture, hopefully not with them in it. Maybe I'll take it like that or something so that it's off on the side. Or maybe I'll move over so that it's off on the side like this. And then we'll go backwards into the cave that we found back there-ish. Oh. Why did it go crazy against some wild Pokemon? Like, what was it fighting that caused it to go crazy? I don't think they ever explain what happened with that. I feel like they just throw that out there and then it just kind of gets left there. I could see why you would resent him. I don't think it's worth blaming Miraidon for that, but, you know. Nah, it's all good. You had trauma of your own to dredge up in order for that to make sense. Oh my god, you guys. Don't grill the poor guy. Alright. Do something like... I'm going to see if that giraffe rig walks out of the picture. No? Okay, you get to be in the picture then. There you go. And, you know, I'll take a picture of this too, because this is kind of cool looking. Maybe get a little bit of the... There's crystals forming at the bottom of that tree. Wonder what this is all about. I mean, I know, but I'm not going to tell any of you. There are some people in the audience who haven't seen this part of the game yet. So, but there are definitely crystals forming at the bottom of these trees. That's not normal. Is it cold? It doesn't feel cold down here. There's terra shards at the base of the tree, too. Well, there's a wild lichen rock. Have I found the drowning pool? No, but I found a few wild Golduck in the cave. I found the protein that Aerie was missing. She forgot where she dropped it. I guess we could take a picture of the cool rock by the time we're done here. I'm going to take a picture of the cool rock. Oh! You're just hanging out in the middle here, huh? Before we even get a glimpse of you anywhere else. I don't want to fight the Golduck, though. I want to fight you. So this must be the first place where you can catch these things without, like, you know, seeing them first, like in one of the cutscenes. This is an Iron Jugulus. All right, cool. I guess Roxas. I don't actually know if Roxas will one-hit KO this thing. I don't know what its stats are like. I don't know what the stats are for any of the Paradox, the futuristic Paradox Pokemon, if I'm honest. I just didn't really bother looking them up. I'm going to try just Fire Punching, actually. Hey, Pat, how you doing? Welcome back. And Barkley, welcome to the stream. How you doing? So, have I beaten the game before? I have, in fact, beaten the game before, yeah, so I know what to expect. I just don't want to say it because, as I said, there are some people in the audience who haven't seen this part of the game, so. Daddy issues. Myron. Each future Paradox Pokemon have their own lore in terms of how they were made. Yeah, I think when we were back, like, way back when we first went to the Lighthouse lab, we looked at a couple of the occult magazines that talked about their speculation on how some of them were made, so. Miraidon is better than Koraidon. I just think, honestly, like, there's just a thing with me and Purple Dragons. I played a lot of Spyro games growing up, so I think it's like, oh, a Purple Dragon. Well, I already have some ingratiation to that. So, seems the main plot was chill. Something like that. I guess this is chill. I was going to say, that snarled it a lot. I have an Assault Vest. Your subplot was helping Mom, got hit by a storm, race against time, and fight against a flapping dog with rabies. That's a lot to go on in one day. Hope that didn't take too much out of you. Good lord. I think a Dusk Ball would work okay on this, because we're in a cave, so. How many zeros is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 billion money! Iron Jugulus is frail. It's a good thing I haven't really been trying to mess around with it too much then, I guess. I'll just throw an Ultra Ball, see if it works out. But yeah, there's quite a few, well, future Pokemon that you can catch as you go further down, but this seems to be the first place where you can catch them, so. I'll be honest, I looked at that Golduck silhouette over there, I was like, why is there a Pupitar in this cave? That's a Scarlet exclusive. But yeah, here we go. And I think if I remember correctly, the Pokedex entries for the ones from this game, like, it doesn't talk too much about them in the Pokedex entries, because they're just like, there's Iron Jugulus, it was described in an old book, and that's this Pokemon. Whereas in Scarlet version, they actually talk a little bit about, like, the history of them, because the Violet book doesn't exist in Scarlet, and then vice versa for Violet. You get some extra info on the ones that are from the past. So, well, I'm going to go look at this thing's stats, because I haven't ever caught one of these things, so I wouldn't even know where to start with it, so. Let's move it into the special box over here with everybody else. Let's take a look at you. Dark Terra type, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's about what I'd expect, honestly. It's like a Hydreigon, except instead of Dark Dragon with Levitate, it's Dark and Flying with this Quark Drive ability. We've seen, I don't remember if I looked at Iron Treads on screen previously, but we've seen Quark Drive before. Basically, the future Pokemon will all have this Quark Drive ability, where if they are on electric terrain, or if they're holding an item called a Booster Energy, their highest stat will be boosted by 1 stage when they enter battle. So, you can either get a one-time benefit out of a Booster Energy item, or you can get a benefit constantly if you keep putting up electric terrain. So it's up to you, whichever one you think is best. So, that might be the only one that we catch, though, honestly, because our Pokemon are at a pretty good level at this point. I don't really want to mess with the levels they're at now. 67 is, I think, pretty safe bet for the end game, so. Alright, everybody pose for a photo, Golducks. That includes you in the back, too, because you're going to be Really? Oh, he's just fidgeting to figure out his best position for the picture. Or he's ignoring me. That's fine, you get to have your back turned in the camera if you don't turn around in the next 5 seconds. Look, now you're making your friends go away. Alright, I'm taking the picture before this gets out of hand. Oh, that's right. Yeah, so I just, honestly, I instinctively press the Miraidon button sometimes when it's like, I gotta get out of here before these Pokemon in this cave eat me, but we can't ride Miraidon down here. He's currently going through a traumatic experience, so. It's kind of a cool picture, too, with all the fog in the background. I think the further, like, the closer I get, the more that the fog gets deleted by the draw distance, though, so. Alright. Into the big gaping maw of a cave now. drive with one hand while I look at chat. This is never a good idea. Don't chat and drive there, friends. Demo testers really be like, do I ride on this? And the stupid keyboard. Here to say hi, gonna go rest, just got showered, tired, and took hours to come back. By the way, remember to take photos. Yes, thank you. Appreciate you letting me know. I've been taking a few photos on my way through here, so I'll keep doing that. You go rest, because you had a traumatic day, it sounds like, so take it easy, Pad. Okay. As for the rest of us, let's continue on our exploration deeper down into the maws of the earth. Oh, there's an iron bundle in here. What, no wild Garchomp? They won't let me have wild Garchomp all the way down here. I probably should look at the stats for some of the Paradox Pokemon. Oh, there's just the wildest Bathra in here. That's interesting. And Garganicles here, too. Apparently they're not friendly, unlike mine. Wow. Guess we've gone down quite a ways already. We can't even see back to the surface where we came in. Well, there's the last research station, but also there's a bunch of Terra gems down here. I guess they're more of like Terra rock formations, basically. Small tip, the music works on your Pokemon for different reaction. Oh, the music button works on your Pokemon for different reactions. Oh, when you're taking pictures with the camera. Okay, gotcha. I was wondering what that feature was for. So like they maybe they dance or something to certain music. That's kind of cool, actually. Probably all the way at the deepest part, Arven, because I think that's what he said. I mean, that's where we're going, so... Sounds like a plan, Expedition Captain. Am I the captain? I mean, Arven kind of took the lead when it came to getting down here, so... I mean, I don't know if that's something you should be telling children, but... Isn't that, like, common knowledge, though? Didn't we talk about that in history class or something? Like, they talked about how the Terra phenomenon comes from the crater in one of the classes, I think. I forget if it was the history class or the battle studies class. I guess it could have been one of the classes that Penny didn't take, but... Maybe get a picture of the crystal with... Oh, Dracloak, Dreepy, you guys want to be in a photo? Nimona, get out of the picture. I think I'm going to need to get a little closer, which I don't know if that's a good idea with these Dracloak. They might be a little skittish, huh? That'll work. Yeah, there we go. There's a Wild Glamora and a bunch of Wild Glimmet if you want them. Although I think, well, they seem to run through them just fine, no problem, but I think if you just wander up to them and stand in their vicinity for too long, they'll explode, so I'm going to try to be not doing that. Guess so. That's what the professor says, anyway. Oh, yeah, and sometimes they'll be embedded in the wall like that, so there you go. Maybe those are the ones that explode, is the ones that are stuck in the wall. Excuse me. Yeah, I was going to say, he's been having a bit of a hard time since we got here, so I don't get the impression... I mean, that's what Arven said. Maybe he shouldn't have said, oh, it's afraid of heights. Huh. I can think of one person. Yeah, honestly, I think you're right there, Penny, because it's that trauma. Trying to get as close to the edge as I can here so I can take the good picture. Well, that's true. I haven't seen its battle form yet, so... What do you propose exactly, Nimona? Because if you seem to think that battling, like having it battle is going to make it want to use its battle form again, I don't think that's going to work. Hang on, I gotta... Oh, nope, that's the wrong way. There we go. Don't want selfies of all my friends. I want pictures of all the glowing crystals. There's geology down here, and I need to see it. I guess I could take a picture of the giant crystal, too. Hey, Garganical, you want to be in a picture? No, you just want to run me down like I'm trying to take your lunch money? I mean, I guess. It's not what's happening here, but... Oh, okay. I thought I could get away with a quick pick and get out of here, but... There's 3 different types: happy, battle, and sleeping music. Your favorite thing to do is seeing each Pokemon's sleeping animation. That would be actually pretty cute to see, yeah, now that you say that. It's always the deepest part, isn't it? Yeah, it can't just be at the surface. That would be too easy. I wonder how much body press would do. Oh, that echoed in the cave. Probably wouldn't do very much, but I don't know if I want to... Well, I've got a good enough defense, so... I don't have more defense than this thing, though. Oh, still did half. Okay. Okay, Interceptor, I see you. Ow. Oh, that was a crit, too. Been getting a lot of crits here today. Hopefully that's not a trend. It's going to keep going. Again, credit. That's a nice-looking rock. Yeah, like, credit where it's due, honestly. Like, I like the atmosphere in here, even if the texture could use some work. I like the atmosphere in this area. It's more foreboding than anything else they've done with this game up to this point, so... I just wish they didn't save all of this for the very end of the game, because I'm... I think somebody came in earlier and they said best story in a Pokemon game for sure. I don't think I can agree with that, but... I mean, we can agree to disagree, obviously. But... yeah, no, like it... I feel like I think the reason why a lot of people say... I think I've heard this before, though, from people, is like, oh, no, the story in this game is really, really good. And I think the reason why a lot of people say that the story is really good is because they do this at the end of the game. And so due to law of primacy and recency... Oh, Wild the Dunsparce. Due to law of primacy and recency, people always remember the first and last thing that they see in any given thing that they interact with. So because they remember this place having a decent story... They say the whole game has a good story when they had to slog through 40 hours worth of video game with a nothing story in order to get here. So, if it's the best story in a Pokemon game you've played, then, you know, power to you. I've played every mainline Pokemon game, not all of them to completion. I did not complete Sword and Shield. Wow, this place is a bit of a dump, huh? I did not play Sword and Shield to completion, but... I have played every other mainline Pokemon game to completion, and... yeah, story in this one is... I can think of... Okay, like, let me think about this. Like, genuinely, which ones do I think have a better story? Emerald, Platinum, Black and White 1, Coliseum, and XD, although if you're not counting side games, I guess those don't count. But if we are counting side games... Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky rubs me the wrong way, but the Blue and Red Rescue Team games were pretty good. Generally, Mystery Dungeon games have pretty good stories as well. The Ranger games... I mean, even X and Y had some decent moments in them as well, honestly. I wasn't a big fan of Sun and Moon, and nor was I a fan of Sword and Shield, but even Kalos had a couple of good moments. Like, you can't take back Floette, it's been 3,000 years, you know what I mean? So... DLC expands on the story, and it's the reason why people think that the story is good. Well, and again, that's primacy and recency, right? Because the most recent thing they've played then is the DLC. So if the DLC is better than the slog of a story from the main game, they would think it's good. And I mean, fair point. You know, they're adding onto the game, so more of the game is good than was before. You also have to pay more to get that more good. But... And I'm not saying that just to be like, well, they should give it to us for free. I understand the games industry is not a cheap place to work. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you're making me pay for a better story when the better story should have been here to begin with. So, you want to eat it, kind of. Looks like a jawbreaker or something, right? Reminds you of Lucario in the Mew movie. Wrong! Super Mystery Dungeon was the bee's knees. I don't think I played Super Mystery Dungeon. Is that the one before... the remake of Red and Blue Rescue Team, like the one that came out... No, hang on, wait. That's the one where... I don't know if this is a spoiler, but that's the one where you can fully evolve in boss fights, right? Is that one? Am I remembering that correctly, or was that Gates to Infinity? I didn't play any of them past Explorers of Sky. Professor Turo, are you okay? Are you having a bad day up there? There seems to be a little interference on this end of the... Oh, never mind. He's just broken. Professor? A restart of what? The computer system, or... Does anyone not see what's about to happen here at this point? Like, I'm not going to say what's going to happen when we get down there, but, like, I feel like they're really heavily, like, throwing it at you. Yeah, it's not very nice for you to scare children down here. Well, let's see if he comes back to the present if we turn off the last lock. So... Ultra Sun and Moon have a better story than Base Sun and Moon. Yeah, and you know, actually, if I had played Ultra Sun and Moon, I probably would have agreed with that, honestly, because... Oh, you sound a little bit off still, Professor. You're speaking in wingdings partially, but... Yeah, I was going to say, that wasn't signal interference. Yeah, you wouldn't have gotten yourself on a loop. It is that one, yeah. Seriously, they're holding an idiot ball. It's heavier than the iron ball. It's weighing their brains down. Okay. Well, I don't know what's going on with the professor exactly. Well, I do, but again, not going to tell all of you until we get there. Can I take pictures in here? No? I could take a picture of this mess. That would be nice to have for the book report. I could have gone back to one of the other stations, taken a picture of the good one, and then taken a picture of the bad one. Oh, well. Yeah, we should probably get out of here. Honestly, these crystals are probably slightly radioactive, and we probably shouldn't be standing in the same room as them. So, I didn't heal at any of the aid stations that they have there, the beds. I mean, again, I don't think I want to sleep in that, but, you know. Yeah, no, I never played Ultra Sun and Moon. I played regular Sun and Moon, but I didn't play Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. My brother played Ultra Moon, though, and he said it was very good from what he told me, but I didn't play them myself, so... what am I looking for? I'm not looking for those items. I'm looking for these items. There we go. Get Interceptor back topped off just about. I mean, I have regular potions. I can just do that for the last 4. I think I used a little bit of power points in that too, right? No, just the one. You got a couple missing. I'll just use an elixir on you. So a couple of ethers and an elixir. All right, well, hopefully I remember to do that when we get further down. I don't know if I will or I won't, but... Yes, ma'am, there was. Nimona, that is not what he was doing. He was being creepy, and that's not okay. No, Arven, you should explain it if you have an idea. Oh, there's Terra Shards just on the ground down here. These items don't respawn, though, so... Yeah. If you're looking to grab more of them. There may be some that you can just randomly find on the ground down here, but these ones that are just in the Pokeballs, they don't respawn, so... Huh. Well, this looks interesting. I don't know if I can get a good picture of it, though. Maybe if I do this. Hold on. Like, maybe if I stand like this at it. Doug Trio, get out of here. I'm taking a picture of a mural. Alright, fine. You get to be in the picture with the mural. Because I'm not about to get you out of there. Alright. Anyway. That texture popping, though! Yeah, I played Black and White, too. Yeah, that one I did play. So, I at least have that one in my pocket. I just didn't... Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon was, like, the first... I don't want to say sequel, because technically speaking, like, Platinum and all that are sequels, too. And I didn't play Platinum. I played regular Diamond instead of Platinum. Although I've seen a whole playthrough of Platinum in the interim since then. That's how I know Platinum had a pretty good... Like, I mean, the distortion world and everything, I know about all that stuff. So, like, that's why I say that one's got a pretty good story. But... He's trapped in a time distortion. We will go on a special mission to save him. I know. Something about that. Well, anyway, it's not too long till we get to the bottom of this anyway, and we'll find out. Doug Trio, this dig's going to do -3 damage because it's nerfed by the damage of... Wait, hang on, is it? No, it's not nerfed by the damage. The damage is not nerfed by the grassy terrain. Never mind. I'm misremembering that. That's only... It only affects Bulldoze, Magnitude, and Earthquake, actually, the grassy terrain. So, yeah. That doesn't look like the way down. Let's go this way. That's not the way down either. Maybe this is where I get turned around. No, you know what? I think if I remember right, there's a cave up here, and that's the way down. Like, the cave is next to the research station. Was there a flag on the research station? Am I seeing that? No, there was. Not a flag. It's like a vent or something. Nope, that's not it either. Maybe I'm just missing something here. Hold on. Because, I mean, like, it won't let me just fall off the cliff, obviously. I think I'm missing it for the side of that there, because I think if I go down there, there's going to be a path that goes further, because that's just a dead end right there. So, I hope, anyway. I don't see where the path could be. It's probably right there, actually, because, I mean, I can see the slope going down now. Just couldn't see it before. That's all. Oh boy, the textures, though. I'll take a picture of this, though, just for the hell of it. Why not? Garganical, you're going to be in a picture. I hope you don't mind. He's going to be like, did you get my permission first? He's going to try to beat me up. So far, we've only seen Iron Jugulus and Iron Bundle, I think. I don't think we've seen... I mean, we saw Iron Treads up on the surface, but there are other Paradox Pokemon, future Pokemon, that we can see. We just haven't seen any of them down here yet. So... Oh, I was going to say, is that a sleeping Iron Bundle? It was, in fact, a sleeping Iron Bundle. Oop, excuse me, pardon me. I see chat. Hang on, I'm trying not to steer into a Pokemon while I'm at it. Distortion World was sick. I did play Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, yeah. Well, I played Alpha Sapphire specifically. I didn't play both of them, but I played those ones, yeah. Vent, you say? Sorry, couldn't resist. Doesn't need to be so salty about it, but yeah, really. He's got the salt, though. What TM could this be? Terra Blast, maybe? Considering the locale, I wouldn't be shocked. Shadow Ball. That's interesting. Wonder what the reasoning behind that one was. Well, this is going right in the book report. I should pull back a little bit so I can get the whole thing in there. Of course, then I have to get my friends in there, too. Yuck. Penny, get out of the picture. Penny, get out of the picture. Thank you. No, not like that. Okay. I'm trying to be professional with the pictures, in case you're wondering. Why don't you want your friends in the pictures? Because, well, for one, I don't have that kind of parasocial relationship with a bunch of polygons. And for two, I'm trying to be professional about these pictures. If I get just random... Like, people already ripped Heath apart for making fantastical stories up about this place. If I take actual professional photos of this place and bring them back, maybe people will take this place more seriously. I mean... I don't think we can go any further down, so... You mean the Pokemon that we've been finding that are from the future aren't the treasure? They could tell us how the rest of the future looks. That's, like, causing a time paradox. So you think. I'm surprised you could get a phone call in down here, Professor. I mean, I guess I am pretty close at this point. So, was there any reason why you guys decided to build this into the side of a giant crystal? It actually looks like it's literally in the crystal. Yeah, is that normal? Oh, maybe that's why they stuck the lab down here. Yeah, so the Terra Crystals are the reason why the Pokemon can terrestrialize, in case that wasn't immediately clear, but... Can a building terrestrialize? I don't... It's not a living being. That wasn't clear? I thought that was clear. What do you mean not many know it? They taught us this in class. Well, anyway, we can get into the gate now, so... Okay. Of course they will, because why wouldn't they? That does sound like a problem. Okay, well, I'll see what I can do. I mean, it's not just you and me, it's also you and me and Arven and Penny, so we'll all work together on this one. Be like a Terra Raid party. It would be interesting if some of the Pokemon battles down here, like some of the ones that were in the cutscenes, were more like actual Terra Raids rather than... Because you've got 4 people, so like you'd think somebody would have had that idea. Maybe they didn't implement it because it would have been too difficult. I don't know. Hey, Conquer, it's going good. How's it going for you there? We are at the deepest part of Area 0, and we're about to open the gate to the Zero Lab. Let's see what happens on the other side here. Oh. Did you just interrupt my inner monologue? How did you even do that? Those thoughts are immediate. Friends is a strong word. Can't tell if you're joking or not. Do you actually get something for taking pictures? No, you don't get anything for taking pictures. I am joking. Sorry, I should have made that more clear. Because those just get saved on your Switch's hardware. They don't get stuck in the actual game. I just said when... So this is a few episodes ago when we were talking about going to Area 0. I said, no, you know what? It'd be a good idea to take some pictures of that place because, like... We were reading the Violet book and we were talking about it, and I said, no, it'd be a good idea to take pictures of that place because if nobody takes this place seriously, like... Heath got lambasted for, like, they said, oh, it's make-believe, what you said down here. If I have physical proof from the pictures, then people maybe will take it seriously. That's what I mean, so. Reading say stuff inside, Captain. Yes, Nimona, battle. Doing all right, just got home. Okay, good. Well, home is a good place to be at this time of night, although it's a little earlier for you, but still a good place to be. I mean, I don't know if we need his help. We've been doing pretty okay without him. Yeah, but that doesn't mean you should, force him into doing something he doesn't want to do. Sure, but it doesn't really matter right now. We can take care of anything that's down here at the moment. I don't know if that's a good idea. Nimona, you're not the one to be telling anybody they're making sense. Trust me. Out of anyone here, you're not the one. No, I'm not letting him out. He doesn't want to come out. I don't... Fine. Alright, buddy. I know you don't want to be here. We're even deeper down than we were. You don't have to fight. That's not what I want you to do, but I do need the moral support at the very least, so... Anyway, inner monologue was opening the gate, so let's open the gate. Yeah, sorry I wasn't clear on that there, Leonidas. I probably should have been more clear at the start of that, but yeah, you don't get any rewards for the pictures, so... Look at that 10 FPS gate opening. Anybody else hear that? Sounded like a jet engine just taking off. Oh boy. Nimona, this doesn't look like a good family reunion. Look at the look in his eyes. You get away from my baby boy right now. I will beat you senseless. I have a ground type, and you do not have levitate, short of what it looks like. I'm sure it looks like he's levitating, but he doesn't have it, so... Oh. Okay. Well. What was that look all about? Why is he seeking comfort under Nimona? She is the one who forced him to come out here. Don't do that. That's like having Stockholm Syndrome for the person who kidnapped you. What the hell? You seeing this shit, Rotom? Just year of the game's frame's been dropping more than usual. Yeah, the frame rate can't handle the epic conclusion. That's about what's happening here, honestly. This is too high fidelity for the processing power that the game has, I guess. Daddy issues? I don't know if that was father. I think that was brother. What even is this writing? Nimona, please read the room. For Christ's sakes. No. They almost killed each other just now. And it would have been a very one-sided fight. Arven, I think it's better to just tuck him away in the Pokeball. We'll figure this out later. He needs to get over this stuff, but we need to do this slowly, okay? Like, it can't just happen right away, instantly. I can't just snap my fingers and get rid of his trauma. I would say so. A legendary Pokemon is pretty dangerous if it's wild like that. Yeah, but I was going to say, do you think that... Okay. I was going to say, do you think they're just going to come wandering out after the most powerful future Pokemon we've ever seen wandered in there? I would think he would have destroyed all of them, but apparently not. Just let the rest of them walk out. All right. That's fair, I guess. Here we go again. I'm surrounded by sumo wrestlers wearing armor. That's just great. I guess it's one that we haven't seen yet, though, so... No, they're more likely to roll out the battle mat. What's that move that Greninja got that they took away from it? It's like mat flip or something. I forget what it's called. I don't even remember what it does, but that's what it reminded me of just now. You think? Well, yeah, he should have bailed the whole time, honestly. I don't know why he's still out of his Pokeball. Alright, Miraidon, just hang tight. We'll get these guys out of here. We'll clear a path. Nimona, not everyone gets turned on by conflict. It's literally a you thing. It's a you problem. You need to see a therapist about this. Oh, God. Alright, level 64 Iron Tread, so I guess Nimona gets to fight the Titan finally. I mean, she's just going to drill run this thing, right? I'm just going to send in the captain. It's fine. Let me guess. Iron Hands? Kind of obvious. You're not wrong. But yeah, it's Iron Hands, yeah. It's actually a pretty tricky Pokemon to take down because it has all of the, like, HP that Hariyama has, but it's an electric fighting type, and it's actually, if I remember correctly, even more bulky. So, yeah, you know, good luck with that one. You have Wild Charge? Okay, well, I lived. You tried. I'll give you credit. You tried it. Why does this thing just get, like, every move under this? I mean, I guess it's based on Donphan, and Donphan gets, like, every move under the sun, so I guess I'm not shocked. But... There's, like, 5 more left, Nimona, and they're all sumo wrestlers. Except for this Iron Jugulus, so... Nimona, take care of the Iron Jugulus. I gotta help Penny. With Iron Hands. Actually, Interceptor's a pretty good switch-in for this. Penny, you don't happen to have an Espeon in your back pocket, do you? Oh, that's a great camera angle. Because it would probably work pretty good on this thing. I mean, Baby Doll Eyes will help, but it will most likely still KO you with close combat. See what I mean? That's a super effective hit, and that did half. Oh, you hit the wrong target. All right, well, I'll keep that in mind for later, actually. Water in the vacuum go... Yeah, some of the cries from the future Pokemon are a little, like... And I guess it makes sense, because it's like their vacuum tubes backing up or something. I don't know. Yeah, how do they survive with all of these crazy Pokemon here? Okay, well, Miraidon's getting his fire back, at least. What do you mean, oh no? He scared him off. Oh, yeah, I guess that's a good point, actually. For once, Nimona's talking sense. She is... Why do you even have to ask about that yet, Penny? I was gonna say, because we've got a little bit of a crowd still left on our hands. Thankfully, this one is also weak to play rough, and not quite as durable. Alright, Arven, initiate Operation Dogs Play Fighting. I don't think that's going to help us. I'm just glad this thing doesn't have Defiant or something. I mean, it wouldn't really help it, but... Alright, Arven, your turn. Oh, it got its turn first. Did I get fully healed between the battles? Alright, Operation Play Rough was a success. Dogs play fighting. Very good. That's something that doesn't happen often. Nimona making sense. I guess it has to happen at some point, right? Even, what's the saying? Even a clock, like an off clock is right twice a day or something like that? I don't know the exact saying, but it's something like that. So... That's what I mean, though. Like, out of the 3 people we had here, Arven and I seem to be the ones that are in sync in battle all the time. Like, we literally had the same brain cell there. We were like, Dark type, play rough. Well, you got us, buddy. We'll make sure that you've got the support that you need to tell your brother to piss right off. You sure, Arven? I mean, I know Mabostiff is, like, raring and ready to go, but that's 3 Iron Hands. Alright, I got it. Well, I gotta trust all of you because I don't really have time for all, I mean, I do have time for all of this. I've still got an hour and 15 minutes before we hit the 3-hour mark, so. I was gonna say, that's your heroic speech for him? There you go, that's a little better. Alright, well, you heard the man, Miraidon. Did I get fully healed? I did get fully healed again. Okay. Let's get in there is what I'd like to say, but what do I want to use first here? Let me think about this. It is a full heal, right? Yeah, so all of our power points and everything got fully restored as well. I think Shaylee's probably our best bet to start with. She's usually a pretty good lead. I mean, she's got the Scarf on. I don't know if she needs it, but I think I'm going to keep it anyway. We could use Stealth Rocks, but Scarf Stealth Rocks is kind of silly, so I just think I'm going to let her go out first and we'll take care of business. That's the saying. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. Yep, there you go. Yeah, right time of day. And you made the joke. Yep. So we were literally all sharing the same brain cell that time. All right, let me go into Space Mountain real quick. It's a little bit less spacey than I remember. And now it's Aperture Science. Professor? You, ready to... It's just you and me now. You don't have to keep your secret anymore. I know what's wrong with you. Or maybe what's right with you. I guess it depends on how you feel about your current predicament. Do you sleep with your eyes open? I guess so, huh? Thanks for receiving me? Just don't try to turn me. Oh, great. Hi there, again. None of that. Shame on you. Well, I don't know what's up with the... Well, I do know, again, what's up with the professor, but at least he's not letting that thing just run wild in his lab, so... So why did you keep it here? Why didn't you Oh, that's right, the time capsule only works one way. Never mind. I was going to say, why didn't you transfer it, like, back? Does the time capsule work one way, or am I misremembering the time capsule? Oh, okay. So that's the trauma, huh? It's always about power with these Pokemon, isn't it? Gee, you think? Alright, so who are you supposed to be exactly, then? Yeah, so this is a robot, an AI, that the professor created with the technology in Area Zero. It's not technology that we have access to, but yeah, you remember how the last research station we went into was all busted up? It was destroyed, and the real professor died in that incident. What happened exactly? So he made a mistake, and it cost him his life. Is that the catastrophic results you were talking about? Oh, okay. Well, I guess that makes some sense. Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been, what, a couple of years at this point, so... Okay, what am I supposed to do? I don't know anything about robotics. That's not a class in the school. How do you expect me to do that, exactly? Oh, okay, fair enough. AI IRL is just going to be just like this. Welcome back, Leonidas. Nimona grows a brain cell due to the space radiation. I mean, that's probably not wrong. Oh god, is GLaDOS going to try and kill us again? I mean, this machine looks an awful lot like something in Aperture's, like, destroyed research center, so... Casually pulls out a Master Ball. It's not a wonder they can 3D print them. I guess Turo fixed that, too. Death mentioned, finally, something interesting. Yeah, they've been... I mean, they've said died a couple of times already in this game, so... But yeah, here's your booster energy. So if you have any of those Paradox Pokemon that you decide you want to add to your team, it might not be a bad idea to have them hold this item. It's reusable in this game, just like the rare bone that we used Fling with before. So yeah, if you want to do that, you can do that. Is it an elevator or is it a white void? Because it looks more like the latter than the former. Are we going to get silly elevator music in here while the professor is waxing about the nature of AI and stuff? I mean, if there is silly elevator music, I can't hear it, so I don't think there is. Air conditioner's making it hard to hear low noises on the game right now. Can you elaborate on what happened to the real professor without, like, you know, making this game T for teen? Right. Well, I guess that's a very cold way of putting it, but you are a robot, so... Yeah, he's gonna have to go to therapy after this. Oh, boy. Kid's been through enough already. Now this is happening. This time machine exactly, how does it work? I'm gonna need to know the specifics if you want me to dismantle it. I mean, I guess I could just throw my Pokemon at it until it breaks, but... Oh, okay, so it's even more simplistic than the time capsule that Bill... Well, I guess not really, because Bill's time capsule is similar, although you don't remotely capture Pokemon with that one. That one, you put the Pokemon in, and then its data gets transferred into a different time period, so... It's kind of similar, functionally speaking. It's just this one catches the Pokemon and brings them back like a crane arm reaching through the dimensional time-space distortion rather than, you know, like a trade. Why is it not turned off exactly? I would think that, you know, well, maybe because the professor is the only one who could turn it off. Maybe you didn't have the functionality. Although, if you're a robot and you're connected to the technology here, why can't you turn it off? What exactly are you? So you're generative, is what you're saying. Oh God, I hope you're better off than ChatGPT. Good Lord, man. I've had to look at some students who have, because I don't know if there's certain people in the chat that aren't new at this point, that I tutor during the school year at a college. And sometimes you get students who bring in essays that are, like, you know they're written by ChatGPT. You can see them, like, the way that they've got them written. It's like, guys, I know you didn't write this. Like, you can just ask me if you're not sure about something. It's okay if you make a mistake. If you just turn this in, you're just going to get grilled by the academic departments at the school for plagiarism or for using generative AI, you know? Like, don't do that to yourselves. Arm is waggling in a strange way, just another AI quirk. I mean, it's just another quirk of the game, honestly. Can't turn the machine off. Deplete the power reserves or something. Sheesh. I don't know if that's possible. The Terra Jewels here give off virtually unlimited energy, so... Did you go back to the Iron Treads Titan after you beat it? Yeah, I did, so I caught that one after I beat it. Yep. I think I did that on screen, actually. I showed where it was and everything, so... How did the machine build that mechanical body to, like... Do you guys have something to build that down here? Because I was going to say, like, don't you need someone to press the buttons to make it look like that? I guess the computer was doing that, huh? So that's a result of the Terra energy, right? Yeah. So basically magic made this AI, essentially. But if he left this place, he'd probably shut down. I don't know if that would be a permanent thing or what, but... Alright, down to business. You want me to turn off the time machine, but there's more to it than that, isn't there? Yeah, but they're all running wild and rampant up there, and if any of those Pokemon got out, I thought the biological super weapons from the Ruinous Quartet were going to be bad. This would be a whole nother scale. This would be like the Reapers invading. Yeah. I don't think they can coexist. Sorry, Professor, but I don't agree with that notion. I'm pretty sure things from the future shouldn't destroy things from the present. That's how a time paradox happens. And then you unravel the whole space-time continuum, and then Loki has to go in and fix it. And was that a Marvel reference I just made? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how people's terms are with Marvel now. I've literally haven't watched a Marvel movie since, like, the pandemic hit, so I don't know. Yeah, I was going to say, some of them made it out of there, so... Well, you especially got to be careful with Iron Jugulus. It can fly. I mean, I guess it's hovering, but if it hovers too high, yeah. I was going to say, well, it sounds like at the very least you're thinking sense in there. So you, or... You're not answering that question, huh? You want me to destroy his hopes and dreams? Boy, this took a turn, didn't it? I mean, I guess I'll do it. I can't let that kind of destruction happen to my new home. I appreciate your willingness to help. If I'm not a little bit apprehensive about the fact that you're okay with destroying something so willingly. I guess it was 3D printed, yeah, honestly. Original Professor's coat. Guessing the stuff under it is the robo body. Yeah, probably, honestly. Because as far as I'm aware, you don't ever see the original Professor, so all that stuff underneath is probably the tech keeping this body going. Rather than, you know, just some random one-piece suit that he wears underneath that just happens to have LED lighting on it. So, in Scarlet version, I guess it might be a little more convincing, although it's kind of weird because in Scarlet version it's also a robot, even though the Pokemon are coming from the past where robots shouldn't exist. So, it's a little plain, isn't it? I figured it'd be more than just a pedestal in the middle of the room, but I guess we're inside of a kaleidoscope, so maybe something else will happen once we get further here. So what do you need me to do? Oh, so that's why you needed the Violet book. Fair enough. It's probably why he was so obsessive about trying to make Pokemon coexist in harmony from the future and the present. You can't force that kind of thing to happen to the ecosystem, though. Oh, okay. Well, that's easy. Okay, I had a feeling there'd be a problem. Why? Don't you have any... Oh, right. Free will. AI. Never mind. That doesn't make sense. Yeah. Okay, well, that sucks for you, but... And that could be a bit of a problem, but we'll see what we can do about that. I'll do the best I can. Please stop staring at me with that weird, creepy smile, though. There we go. Okay, well, we know what we gotta do. I'm gonna save here, actually, just because I don't feel like having to listen through all that dialogue again just to get back to this point. Although I don't know what happens, actually, if you lose this battle. Because, like, I would imagine you go back to a Pokemon Center, but that would send you all the way out of Area 0, and I don't know if they'd want to do that, so... Anyway, figure it out later. For now, let's put the Violet book in the pedestal and get this show on the road. Okay. Well, that's a good sign. Yeah, I figured backup generator would probably do something. The computer, it really doesn't want to be turned off permanently, you see. Okay, well, I'll do the best I can. So that's where they hid the supercomputer underneath the time machine. Alright, listen, I don't think I can handle the supermassive black hole, but I'll do the best I can. You know, that might have been a little more suspenseful if that wasn't a Master Ball, but I suppose it matches your outfit at least. Alright, you want to look at me on high, that's fine, but if anything, it's going to make it harder for you to figure out what's going on down here while this battle's going on. So, let's do this thing. Alright, Iron Moth is first. Alright, Toby Fox, I can hear you. I know you're here. Thanks for showing up at the last minute. I think he composed some tracks for this game, and I forget which ones he composed, but I'm pretty sure he composed all of the tracks for Area 0, if I remember correctly. So, not the Team Star stuff, though. But this is definitely him. You can hear it. Nice Tron inspiration there. Good luck. Thank you. The room's geometry sucks. We're gonna have to fight GLaDOS again, aren't we? Sorry, bro. I'm built different. Peerless. Yeah, Prepare to get wrecked. Resistance is futile. Oh, you get sent back to the last room if you lose? Okay, gotcha. Yeah, goofy speech quirk. Speaking in wingdings again. This thing's fire poison type, so Earthquake. And I'm faster. I don't know. I think I might have been faster even without the Scarf, but I'm definitely faster with the Scarf, so. Yeah, probably when this game first came out, that was a problem that people had to figure out, like what the types are. The thing that you have to remember about the Paradox Pokemon, whether it's Scarlet or Violet version, it doesn't matter which one, they share one of their types with the Pokemon that they are inspired from. So, like, Iron Hands is going to share the fighting type with Hariyama. Iron Moth will share either the bug or the fire type with Volcarona. But since it's glowing orange, of course, that'll be the fire type rather than the bug type. It doesn't share both types, though. I wonder if I KO at +1. Let's find out. Oh, okay, well. I lost my focus! My damage is nerfed! No, that's a different game. The power the future holds is being able to fake people out. That seems like a silly power. Get that out of here. Good. Exactly what I wanted to see. The Shaylee sweep continues. I don't know if we can get the broom out because I'm pretty sure he has an Iron Jugulus. He just hasn't sent it out yet, so. The thing with the AI in these games is they send out Pokemon that have the strongest move that would affect the Pokemon that you have out. So, like, he sent out Iron Hands because it had close combat, probably. I don't know why he's sending out Iron Thorns. Maybe it has a fighting type move or something, but thankfully this is the last of his Pokemon that Shaylee has a really good matchup against, so we can just get half his team out of the way right away, and that just, you know, that's good. Now I left the Scarf on, so we can't just switch moves up now that we're at +3, but that forces me to actually think in this battle, you know what I mean? So I'm okay with that. Alright, Iron Bundle is a problem, though. It's water and ice type, though, and I'm faster than it with the Scarf, so maybe I just KO it with Earthquake. It's not like it has a resistance, you know? I think I'm just going to KO it with Earthquake. Oh my god, I buried it. It disappeared from existence. Why is Crocodile just like this, man? Like, who designed this Pokemon? I love them for it, but who designed this Pokemon? But yeah, as you can see, the AI isn't programmed in this game to be like, oh, a flying type. That resists ground type moves, and this person's been spamming the ground type move. So yeah, we get to just rock through the entire team, like all of them. Do I want to send out Interceptor for this? Interceptor's got Play Rough, so it will be good against this, but I'm concerned about his final Pokemon. We might still have a problem on our hands with his final Pokemon, honestly. Even with Interceptor out. I'm going to send out Roxas, actually. I don't know that Roxas can do great damage to this thing. We can probably KO with Thunder Punch, but... yeah, we buried it. Be less awkward if he switched into Wingdings. Why is he glitching? He was working just fine. The system is negatively affecting his brain, I guess. I don't know. Something like that. Alright, Thunder Punch a go-go. Thunder Kick, even. The future Paradox are a bit misleading. Being called Iron would make you think that they're Steel types. Yeah, you would think, honestly. Like, you'd think all of them were Steel types, just judging by the names, but yeah, not quite. So, of course, if they were Steel types, I'd still have a great advantage with a Ground type. But they've all got unique typing, so. Here's his final Pokemon, Iron Valiant, and we are not out of the woods just yet. This thing is scary. Are you sure? I've still got my full team here. Now, granted, Roxas is probably going to go down because I'm going to try to T-Wave this thing, but, you know. Right, so, he gave it a Booster Energy. It has Quark Drive, and the Booster Energy, like we said, will boost its strongest stat. In this case, its strongest stat is Attack. So, I mean, we don't have to worry about this thing being like Gallade where it has Sharpness, but it's still a bit of a problem. Honestly, I could probably send Shaylee in, though, and because he's going to use Psycho Cut right now. And then if I do that, he's going to use a Fighting-type move. We can send an Interceptor and then Terra up and Play Rough. We should be able... I think he has Poison Jab as well, but we should be able to take one Poison Jab, even with +1. I think. We'll see what happens here. I might just Aerial Ace, honestly. I didn't T-Wave it, but we should still be faster with the Scarf anyway, so... Honestly, I might just do 2 aerial aces and finish this up. I'm not sure yet. I'd like to go into Interceptor to finish this with him, but I don't know if that's going to be a good idea. Let's just see what happens when we aerial ace. How about that? Okay, it's not quite enough for 2 shots, so it's definitely going to have to be Interceptor that comes in. Sorry, Shaylee. Looks like your sweep is over. I don't have to imagine it. It's about to become a reality. All right, buddy. Let's finish this where we started from. Interceptor, it's your time. But it's not just your time. As with every time we do this, it's your time to shine. Be the beacon that lights all of Paldea, Bread Dog. I really hope we're gonna KO this thing in 1 hit. After all that, it'd be a little anticlimactic, huh? Oh god, it's faster than me. Well, we can take it. We've got that good defense. Gotcha. Thanks for your sacrifice, Shaylee. You had plenty of experience, to be fair, so I'm not even worried about you being KO'd for this part. Yeah, she's almost level 69. So I guess it's not quite nice, but Interceptor got there, so that's nice. You could even say he was bred for this. Nice one. Go, goodest boy. Finish this where we started from. The Mega Gallade and Gardevoir fusion. Yeah, they took aspects of both. Apparently someone in the future really liked both of those Pokemon, so... I mean, fair enough. I like Gardevoir well enough, and Gallade well enough, so... I can see it. Past and future Pokemon makes that old hurt for a Steel Dragon Eevee act up. Yeah, we never did get a Dragon-type Eevee or a Steel-type Eevee, did we? Be awesome for it to show up in Penny's team. Yeah, just as like a new thing, you know? I don't know. We have so many Eevee evolutions at this point, though. I'm kind of concerned, like, they... Excuse me. Might botch the design on them or something. They've been making... I don't know, I thought Sylveon's design was kind of more complicated than some of the other Eevee evolutions, but... Well, there was only one baddie, and he's right there, so... Arven, this is going to come as a bit of a shock. We'll get you therapy after this. Oh. Are you sure? Because, I mean, you're still online, right? I feel like he probably programmed in that message. Don't let him fool you, Arven. That's the machine talking. Well, duh! It's getting very Pokemon Violet in here, although it looks more like Pokemon Magenta. Gen 11 confirmed. I don't remember, did they leak something for Gen 10 already? I haven't been paying attention to Pokemon stuff, honestly. Well, no kidding. Alright, what's a Paradise Protection Protocol, and why should I be concerned about it? What is wrong with your dad, Arven? Oh, what the hell? What do you mean locking all Pokeballs? Why do you have control over that? Well, what do you want me to do? Fight you with my bare hands? I don't think that's going to keep the Paradox Pokemon from leaking out into the region, actually, there, Mr. AI. Does ZA count as Gen 10? I don't know, honestly. You'd have to ask someone who's a little more versed with it than me. Well, this is a problem. Alright, now pay attention to the dialogue real quick here. Just watch the dialogue box. Did you catch that one? If you didn't catch that one, the VOD will be up soon enough, so you can play that at a quarter speed so you can see all the little dialogue that was in there. I won't spoil it for those of you that didn't catch it. But he has one last Pokemon left in his pocket, Miraidon, so, okay, well... You know, I really wanted to use Earthquake on this thing, but as you saw previously, all Pokeballs except those that are locked to Professor Turo's ID have been, well, locked. They can't work. We can't use our Pokemon. That's a bit of a problem, because I can't fight this thing with my bare hands. It will kill me. Why are you smiling about this, Nimona? I know you're, like, basically related to Goku according to the, you know, everyone in the fandom, but, like... Huh. Yeah, all my Pokeballs are locked. Okay, well... I don't think I have anything in my bag that would fix that. Should we try to do what the AI said and run, guys? Or... No, I guess we can't really do that, huh? What do you mean even you can't get them open? You're like the hack master here. I don't have anything in my bag that could fix this, right? Like, what would I even have that would fix this problem? An elixir? Can I throw a Pokédoll at it to... Apparently not, no. Oh, okay, well, I guess the director is the one that tells you, you know, there's a time and place for everything, but not now, so... Yeah, I can't swap anybody in or out here because they're all locked. I know what you're supposed to do, by the way. Don't get, you know, don't worry about it. I know what you're supposed to do. The game's going to make it obvious. I just wanted everybody to get their dialogue in first. Because, well, there's only one Pokeball that we happen to have that's not locked to my ID. Alright, buddy. I know you don't want to do this, but you're literally our only hope now. Ready, partner? Let's do this thing. We got this, right? That's what I thought. All right, he's finally back online. Now, I believe the two of you have a score to settle. Come on, partner. Let's put this guy back in his place. Okay, so we haven't seen Miraidon's special ability. It sets electric terrain on the field. But when the electric terrain is set on the field, I think if I remember correctly, it boosts the power of electric-type moves for any Miraidon on the field, as long as there's electric terrain. I don't exactly know, to be honest with you. I guess we could look at his summary to find out. Yeah, there we go. Turns the ground to electric terrain. The futuristic engine boosts its special attack stat on electric terrain. So we both get a bit of a boost here. That's good. Throw a Pokédoll quick. Damn, there goes that plan. I tried, to be fair. You could. Go throw hands. I don't have a black belt in this game like I do in real life. It's got future cybersecurity for vehicle anti-theft. Screw regulations. Everyone just send all your Pokemon out and blast this sucker. That would be the anime ending. We need the Pokemon ending version. Alright, I know this thing's Electric Dragon, but my electric-type moves are boosted. Electro Drift this sucker. Oh, you're gonna regret that. Trust me. That's to prevent you from using Endure on the first 3 turns of battle. They're trying to tell you something in case it wasn't clear. Well, it was a cool move. It didn't do much damage, but it was a cool looking move, so... Alright, let's use something that's normally effective now, instead of using Electro Drift. Power Gem, even with the electric terrain boost, probably still deals more damage, so... I mean, you can try to have that happen. I don't think it's going to work out for you. Alright, hang in there, buddy. Hang tough. You're just as strong as he is, after all. You just need to believe in yourself. You said that before, in the previous battle. We destroyed you pretty good in the previous battle, so... Well, charge is going to be a bit of a problem because of the special defense boost. Nimona is aroused in her own weird way. I don't even think I want to think about Nimona being aroused. The fandom already has that in their back pocket, so... We'll let them handle that part. I'll just handle the battle part. So, she said to hang in there, and the taunt wore off. I think you know what we have to do. Miraidon, something big's on the way! Get in a defensive stance now! Oh boy. Boy, it's a good thing I used Endure. You can never die in this battle. If you don't use Endure because you don't catch the flags that the game is waving in your face, Miraidon will just live the hit on one so that it'll say, Miraidon toughed it out so you wouldn't feel sad, like a friendship mechanic. I'm choosing not to have that happen because, you know, that's silly, so. Alright, well, you got a boost in special attack. Let's see if that overcomes the charge. Give him another power gem. Oh, nope on that kind of fan art. Yeah, oh my god. Like, Jesus Christ, people. She's, like, 14 at the max. Like, come on. Begins to make Nimona a Rousart. There's a reason you don't go to DeviantArt anymore. I can see it. Alright, Miraidon, you heard the people. They asked for a show. Let's give them a show. So you got +2 special attack on the last turn. Now you get an Omni boost as if you just used Ancient Power instead of Power Gem. And I believe that speed should be enough to make us outspeed this thing next turn. And with +3 special attack, we should one-shot because it's Terra Dragon. Alright, Interceptor was the beacon. You gotta bring us to port, Miraidon. Do this thing and get us all home. Didn't even roar at the end of that there. You could have roared there. It would have probably made it a little more epic, but okay, whatever. You do you. And that's GG. So that's probably how you're supposed to do that battle, I would imagine. I mean, you don't have to use Electro Drift on the first turn, but you're supposed to endure once the taunt wears off and then just blast it once your Terra Orb glows. So I've seen other people do that not that way, and it looks less epic at the end of the video game because of that, but I mean, I've played this before, so I know what I'm doing. Not the no. DeviantArt is definitely an unsafe place. Yeah, you really, I mean, you're in for it, and you should know what you're in for if you go looking there. So, Power Gem has interesting implications with terrestrialization, actually. Yeah, because the gems themselves are glowing kind of like Terra Orbs, you know what I mean? It would be interesting if they did something with that, but, I mean, probably after this generation you'll never see terrestrializing again, so until, you know, 10, 15 years from now when they decide to remake Gen 9 on the Switch 4. Finally, the game will... I mean, I guess it runs at 60 FPS now on the Switch too, but... Well, that's the magic that makes dreams into reality, baby. All these crystals are good for something, and apparently they're good for making you stop being a mean AI? I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. I told you I was ready. You didn't know how far I'd go, but I did go far. It's all good, AI person. Oh. Well, that sucks. What did we do all this for, then? Oh, okay. So what are you going to do exactly? I mean, you could terminate yourself right now by falling off of this and breaking into a million pieces, but that would be a little traumatic for Arven, I think. So how are you gonna self-terminate here? That shouldn't be what she's doing. She should find literally anything else so she can feel some form of passion and not boredom in her life, but anyway. I mean, I guess he did do that at some point. Had to come up with that one on the spot, huh? Yeah, but you can't do that, right? Like, as soon as you leave the lab, it doesn't matter if you leave the lab itself, or... Yeah, I was gonna say, you're gonna shut down, right? Like, you said it yourself, you can't leave. Oh. Okay. Isn't that just gonna shut you down anyway? I mean, maybe they can put you back together. I mean, it is the future, I guess, so they probably have AI at that time, unless they decided it was silly and stopped doing anything with it. Well, I'm sure the professor programmed that into you, honestly. I think that's what he needed to hear, honestly. I think he needed to say that, Arven. I don't think he had a choice. I know it's hard to hear, but it's what you needed to hear. So how is this going to work exactly? Can't you only transfer... I mean, I guess you are data. The body's just a body. So you'll just turn into data. The wrong region. You should have bid us Vamonos or something. So I guess it'll just transfer the data out of his body. Or he'll, you know, just go into the time machine himself. Is he taking the Violet Book with him? I mean, I guess it is technically his, so... Wouldn't the machine see that the Violet Book is taken out and then shut down? Should I be asking these questions in the 11th hour when the game is over? No, probably not. Well, there he goes. And that means no more time machine. Congratulations, everybody, we did it! Drive A, create backup. The Game Boy 2, only $5,000. Tweaking. Yeah, bid us adios, even. Sorry, Arven. No, he's not okay. He needs therapy. Well, technically it was real. Your dad programmed those messages in for you to hear. It just wasn't from him because he couldn't be here. It's okay, buddy. You can talk it over with someone who's a professional at this, and then you'll know what you're saying. Well, you're back in your battle form, so that's a good thing. Sorry that you had to see all of this go to its conclusion the way that it did, but... Actually, we don't need your battle form right now. We need your ride form so we can glide the heck out of here. Actually, I'm not even sure... I mean, you probably would. He'd probably electrocute you to death. I'm not even sure if we could fly out of here, though, because we could glide down, but we haven't been able to glide up. I think that's, like, reserved for the DLC, if I remember correctly. There's, like, a flight mode that you unlock after doing all the DLC. Listen, guys, you don't have to patronize me. We did a good thing. Let's just go home. Penny, he's dead. Let him rest. He literally shut down as soon as... I know you're just trying to make Arven feel better, but he literally shut down the second he hit the floor of the future, wherever he ended up. Let's go home, team, because we did what we came here to do, so... Time for us to take a rest. Even heroes need some shore leave every now and then. Already forgetting this odd nonsense. Let's go post those selfies in a little essay paper so we can go home and eat a sandwich with Mom. This was whack. The ending of this game gets a little crazy, honestly. It's over the top. I don't mind it because it's something, you know what I mean? Like, compared to the nothing we had for a lot of the game, it's something, you know? So I appreciate that the game, you know, at least pulled out a stop at the end. But... So, which mountain path are we hiking on now? Is this West Province Area 1, or what? You want to take the long road home? You literally can't hike 500 feet without losing your breath. Where are we going to load up on snacks? We already passed Cascarafa. Alright, well, I guess I packed some snacks, so... Come on, Arven, don't ruin the fun. We gotta get home somehow, right? Let's go, buddy. If they want to take the long road home, I'm game for it. I've got more stamina than most of you do. And I'm not carrying around a 60-pound backpack like Arven is. Oh, excuse me, I have to go mute the volume now or else I'll get copyrighted. Hang on. Where's the mute button? Where's the mute button? There. And just to be safe, there. They got Ed Sheeran to sing a song for the credits of this game, so if I left that on, Universal Media Group would have a field day with me. So let's not do that. We get to sit in sullen silence listening to my air conditioner hum in the corner. Because that's the game, everybody. We've beaten the main story of Pokemon Violet. I'm exhausted. And honestly, I think it's partially because of the fact that last night wasn't a good night for sleep. It was just so humid, and it was like 78 degrees at an absolute low. So I didn't sleep real great, so I don't know if it's a great thing for me to be doing a review of a game like this, but I'm going to try anyway. So Pokemon Violet is a video game. Let's talk about the points of merit before I get to the points of tapioca and the points of they irritate me. There are points of merit to be had in this video game. I don't want to make it sound like it's all bad. I think there are certain aspects of the game. There's pieces where I can see a spark, where I can see things like developers doing something that's interesting or having fun with what they're doing. Those aren't the main, like the big things for me, though, that are good things. I think the first major good thing I should talk about, honestly, is the music, because I think they did a really good job on the OST in this one. From what I understand, this was the last game that Masuda was going to be like a direct developer for, so they kind of wanted to go all out on the music for him as sort of a send-off, and they brought in a ton of composers to help out with this, including, as I said, Toby Fox, who has just... he already did some stuff in Sword and Shield, so I guess it makes sense that they would bring him back for this, but he's proven himself quite capable in the past few years, hasn't he, ever since Undertale came out. But that's not to discount the efforts of the other composers. I think they all did a really good job on the soundtrack. A lot of the tracks are memorable. I think they're well worth listening to, at different times other than just playing the video game. So, yeah, the music's really good. I don't think anyone can really say otherwise, honestly, because I don't... If you see something that's not good in the music, I don't know that I see it. The other, I think, point of merit that I talked about a little bit is that I think that the Pokedex in this game is really stacked with a lot of Pokemon that are probably, like, I don't know if they're necessarily fan favorites, but there's a lot of really good Pokemon in this Pokedex. It's probably my favorite Pokedex in a game, tied with Black and White 2. Yeah, that sounds about right, honestly. I think it's just going to kind of depend on the day which one is my favorite between the two of them. I'll probably shift back and forth between the both of them. But, yeah, no, the Pokedex in this game is really stacked. Like, there's a lot of really good Pokemon in it. There's a lot of variation between the Pokemon. And, being able to see them out in the open world and being able to say, I can see that one, I want to catch that one, instead of having to deal with random, like, 1% spawn rates and tall grass, is really nice. It's definitely a good quality of life shift, and I appreciate that that was done. It's kind of been done since, like, Let's Go, but that wasn't the thing in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, was there? There weren't any Pokemon in the overworld in that game. I don't know. I didn't play it, but yeah, it's been done since Gen 7, so I appreciate them continuing to do that because it's a great quality of life feature, and, spawn rates in tall grass was never fun. It was done for limitations on older games, and so I understand why it was done like that, but it made catching just so much more aggravating because you just run into the same Pokemon over and over again like 16 times while you're looking for that 5% spawn, and it just didn't work out. So this Pokedex is stacked. I think it's really good, and again, the overworld's sprites of the Pokemon, being able to see them in the environments is good. So I'd say those are the points of merit. The points of tapioca are kind of... Quite honestly, I don't really feel much from this game in terms of, like, its overall, like, story-wise. I mean, there are some interesting things in it. Like, I think that the Team Star story can be interesting if you kind of do it all, like, back-to-back. But you never really do any of this stuff back-to-back. Like, it's all spread out. And in order to get to the points where you're at the correct level to actually be ready for the next story beat, you kind of have to... I think the credits are coming to an end. Let me go turn that back on. Hopefully they're not still... Oh, the music just ended. I can see my sound going down. Hang on, I'll go do that and then come back to this. Okay, there we go. Well, I have awoken. I have not finished my review, but I have awoken. So... Oh, there's an announcement. Okay, I'll let them finish and then I'll talk about it some more. Oh. Okay, well, just got back and I'm already being summoned to the director's office. We'll probably get in trouble for going down into Area 0, but to be fair, they left the gate open, so... But yeah, I don't know. It's like... I don't know if it's necessarily a matter of the game's design that causes problems with the story. I just think that... Well, the actual gym challenges, there was really no story going on there at all. Like, Nimona literally is like, hey, you're doing good, let's fight. Like 5 times, not in a row, but 5 times over the course of that fight. I think, honestly, the way that I did the Titan fights in this one, it was kind of a mistake, because I think I do like the Titan storyline a little bit more, although I think it's just because they have a dying dog in it. Like, it's kind of hard not to, you know, enjoy a story where you get to heal a dying dog. But we did it, like, first thing. We did all of the Titans on stream 3, so... I feel like the way that we did it with that might have been a mistake, because we get that out of the way immediately, and then we have to slog through the rest of this just to get to the ending. So I don't know if that necessarily did Arven any justice. And then the Penny thing, like I said, Team Star is pretty forgettable overall, I think. They're not Team Yell. Like, Team Yell is just so deeply forgettable. I can't even, like... Why did they even make those guys? But, like, so I guess Team Star is a slight step up from Team Yell, but that's not much of a thing. Like, the bar was in the floor there, you know what I mean? And then Penny, I mean, like I said, I think I would like her more as a character if she didn't get, like, a combined 10 or 15 minutes of screen time total across the whole game. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't really get a whole lot of, like... The game itself just feels barren in a lot of places, I guess is the best way I can put it. I mean, we've seen it in the overworld, and I don't think necessarily putting this game on, like, having this game process more Pokemon into the environment on the Switch 2 would fix the barrenness, because having more Pokemon in the environment would just make it feel unreal, you know what I mean? Like, real life doesn't do that. There aren't just, like, 60 Gyarados living in a lake in real life. Like, I mean, obviously Gyarados isn't real, but, like... You're not going to just have a giant cluster of the same Pokemon just all over the place because the system has more processing power. They will be scattered around, but there's just not a lot to do in the world. Like, you go do the objectives in areas around that, but other than that, it's like, okay, fight trainers. Take pictures for aesthetics if you want to take pictures. Catch Pokemon. Okay, is there anything else in this open world that I can do? Any organic story events that just happen randomly? And we did find a couple of those, right? Like, we found the Team Star deserters in Tag Tree Thicket as we waded through its 8 FPS to find these 4 NPCs that just have 2 lines of dialogue each that say, hey, we decided we weren't going to fight in Team Star anymore. It's like, okay, there's dissent within the team. Is there anything we can do with that? No. Does Miss Rhyfor's storyline go anywhere if you catch the Ruinous Quartet for her? No. She gives you nasty plot and that's it. You don't hear from her again till the DLC, where, as far as I'm aware, that storyline still goes nowhere. Like, there's just a lot of, like, threads that they leave bare, and they could have developed into something interesting, but they never do. And that's the thing about these open world games. If you're going to make an open world game, you can't just make an open world and call it a day. You have to make it dense with things to do. It has to feel alive. It has to feel like there's people and places in it that the player looks at and says, I want to go there, and they're rewarded for going there. And I just don't feel like this game has a lot of that. Like, there's not a lot of other things to explore outside of, like, just the events that are marked on your map. And don't even get me started on the whole convenience thing that I talked about. Like, when you're having an open world adventure like this, the part of the thing that really... I played Oblivion Remastered earlier this summer before I went on my hiking trip. And one of the most fun thing that I got out of that game was planning my journey out, right? Like, I'm in a starting place. I'm like, okay, I have to go from here to here. There's a bunch of places along the road that I could stop off at, but I need to do this while I'm going there. There's, like, objectives along the way. There's new places to discover along the way. There's things to do on my way to my destination that makes this whole process. Maybe I'm only going, like, part of the distance. Maybe I'm only going from Breville to Leowin, right? But there's a grand adventure awaiting me with multiple stops between Breville and Leowin, where I could just find some cool loot in a cave, or I could, you know, build up my skills so I'm stronger when I get to Leowin so that I can take on greater challenges. And this game has the threadbarest sense of that, because it's like your Pokemon gain levels by you capturing Pokemon or fighting trainers on the road, but that's it. There's just nothing else to hold your attention besides the Terror Raids, which you need to build specialized Pokemon in order to do above 3 stars. And it's just bare, man. It's like there's just nothing there. And it really just, like, I've said it before, when games frustrate me, oh my god, the system's darkening. My room, the lights went off. When a game frustrates me, at the very least, I can still talk about it. When a game bores me, it just turns me off to the whole thing. And this game bored me. Like, by the time we got through the whole thing, I was like, I'm ready to not play Pokemon for a little while, that's for sure. So, oh yeah, and you can move Miraidon into your team now if you select its battle form. So, like, you can select it. And if you change it into its battle form, it'll ask you to put away one of your Pokemon. But, yeah, if you don't put them away, you can't change it into its battle form. So, there you go. Anyway, where was it? Yeah, just that... If I'm frustrated by I mean, I guess I'm frustrated by the boredom, but I think the boredom overpowers the frustration I feel from the boredom. And then, I mean, we're going to do the post-game stuff here. There isn't really a ton in the post-game either. From my understanding, Sword and Shield didn't have a lot of post-game content either. It was basically like the Battle Tower and that's it. So this game has a little bit on that, but like, you're meant to sustain yourself with Terror Raids after the fact until like a year later when the DLCs came out. And I just don't think the Terror Raids are interesting enough to hold your attention for, like, a long time. Like, when you have an open world, oftentimes the player doesn't explore every piece of that region when they're doing the main story. So then when they're done with the main story, they're like, wow, look at all this map that I didn't explore. And then they can go, look, there's just nothing left for us to look at now. We've done everything across the whole map now. The only thing that's left is any events that the game has left for us to do in the post-game, which it does have a few of, but they're all Pokemon battles. There's just... I don't know, it just feels like there's nothing here, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like the world doesn't feel alive. It just feels like it's creeping along on the same things that it always has. And I think it's a problem that's endemic to the Pokemon games in general. Not necessarily all of them, because some of the side games, it feels like they actually have a pulse in some cases. But with the main games, because of the merchandise engine that the Pokemon Company and Game Freak and Nintendo and all them have to do, they have to get them out at a certain time or else the merchandise will be delayed, and they can't do that because then they won't make billions and billions of dollars. How are they ever going to usurp Disney if they don't do that, you know? Like, but they need to, like... I think they need to tone it back a little bit when it comes to releasing the mainline games. What they need to do is, first of all, they need to not do what they did with this game, where they released like 3 Pokemon games in the space of a year. You're just like delegating too many developers to too many tasks then, and the games are not going to come out good if you do that. So they need to take their time with these games a little bit more. They can release them like... to be fair, to give them credit, the only game, as far as I know, that they're releasing this year is Legends ZA, and that means that game has had plenty of time for development, because they had a small team, I'm sure, working on the DLC for this game. They could focus the developers on the development of ZA. So that's a good thing. They should continue to do that with their developers, so that these games don't come out back to back to back, and they end up with this game, where it feels like it almost feels like a beta state version of the game that could have been, you know what I mean? It feels like there's just not enough developed here for it to be a full game in some cases. So I feel like the best way to put my overall opinion on this, and I see chat going, I'll check that out once I'm done with this. Sorry if I'm not answering anybody's chats, I'll say it in a second. I feel like the best way I can put for my overall thoughts about Pokemon Violet is that I'm disappointed. Like, and I don't know necessarily that I'm even mad, because, like, I don't feel like this game is worth my energy of getting mad at, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like I should conserve that energy for something more productive. But I'm just disappointed that this is the state that the series is in, you know what I mean? And, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are hopeful that it'll be better after this, but, like, I came back to this, you know what I mean? Like, I played Let's Go for the stream a while back, and I said I'm probably not going to play other games in the series after this, because I saw Sword and Shield, and I said, wow, they really made an inferior product after making Let's Go, didn't they? After they drew in all these extra people to be in the player base, they made an inferior product for them. I said, that's destructive business practices. I'm not coming back to this. And then I came back to it anyway because there were some things in this game that I thought might be interesting or unique, like the way that we handled the Titans. Problem is, once you do it that way once, you can't really vary it up. Once you've used a knackle stack to sturdy through every single one of the Titans in this game at level 24 to 27, it happens the same way every time. You know what I mean? So like it just isn't really replayable. There isn't really a whole lot going for it while you're playing it to begin with. And it saves a decent card for the end of the game, but having to slog through the rest of the game just to get to that point, I don't know if it's worth it. So I'm disappointed that this is what they thought would be an acceptable product for people to purchase. I did purchase it, to be fair, so I'm kind of being a little hypocritical on this, but I think it's important to acknowledge the fact that Pokemon can do better than this. And I think it's important that I need to show that by physically playing the game rather than just saying that. Although that's going to fall on deaf ears anyway. If somebody's a fan of the series, they're just going to say, no, they're doing great as it is anyway. You shouldn't be so critical of this. I don't know what happened where we stopped being so critical of video games. It just feels like it happened... I don't want to say overnight. It's kind of always been a thing where people have been like, you shouldn't be so critical of this game. If you enjoy it, then enjoy it. If you don't, stop playing it. It's like, no, that's not how the developers do better, okay? They need to do better than this. And if they aren't told that things are bad, they won't know that things are bad. Not that Pokemon is even listening to me. This game sold gangbusters. It sold like 23 million copies. They don't give a flying F about me. But I think it's important to acknowledge that because it could be better than this, and they're choosing to release a product like this. And that's disappointing. So that's how I feel overall. Let me catch up on chat. And then I think we'll save the going to the director's office thing for the next time, because then that can just take all the post-game stuff and we can do it all in the post-game. So, all right, what did I miss here? Just realized someone in the future is going to get jump scared by a time-traveling robot corpse. Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a problem for that person, huh? Want to talk about being traumatized? Good lord. Art direction was erratic, but you like the overall direction of the signs and the paintings and the like, and the Pokedex art. Yes, it's just... There is a lot of, like... It feels like there's checklisting going on in this game. Yeah, honestly. Star feels like a botch attempt to bring back the success of Team Skull. Shiny hunting and raids, those only appeal to a certain percentage of the fan base, though. I don't particularly like shiny Pokemon because I don't like the color differences. Like, when I make a team, I couldn't make this team like this if it's shiny Pokemon, because one of them would be the same color as one of the other ones, you know what I mean? I like the color distinctions, so again, that only appeals to a certain aspect of the base. And with the raids, to reiterate, you have to build specialty Pokemon in order to even be ready for the raids. You can't build them like a single battle challenge, you can't build them like a double battle challenge, you have to build them for the raid itself. So it's a specialized thing that I'm not sure every player would engage with. I certainly didn't. I can't speak for everyone, so I'm not going to say this like I'm speaking for everyone. But I certainly did not engage with the raids in the post-game. And you can't expect that to be all that can hold the fan base down for 2 years worth of development. So I don't... Give us the Ruins of Alph. Puzzles. Kids have brains. I mean, so yes, they do 7-star raids. That's a fair thing to think about. The 7-star raids are released like once a month, if I remember correctly. But once, I mean, do you do those repeatedly? Like, because you're just fighting the same thing over and over again, right? Is it just for the rewards? Because then that's just grinding in World of Warcraft. Like, why would you do that to yourself? I don't know. Get the idea. DLC would probably change my opinion. Yeah, but if I have to pay $30 extra for it to change my opinion when I already paid $60 for this steaming pile of tapioca, I don't think it's worth paying the extra $30 to try to change my opinion. That seems scummy to me. And I'm not, I want to be clear here, Leonidas, I'm not trying to be mean to you specifically, okay? We just disagree on things when it comes to this video game. That's all this is. It's not me attacking you, not me being personally, directly engaging against you. We just disagree on this video game. That's all this is, okay? It's nothing more than that. So, not wrong about the DLC being good by comparison, but the cost, I'm broke. Say that the cost is fine, you're getting 2 new areas for a reasonable price. I don't think I can get a whole new video game that I never played from 2010 for $6 on a Steam sale, and that's more than 2 new areas. So I don't know that I agree that it's a reasonable price. it's honestly, it's a problem with a lot of Nintendo games, though, right? They never go on sale. Like, Nintendo really doesn't do sales. This game, I'm pretty sure Let's Go is still $60. And that came out in, what, 2016 or something like that? That's like almost 10 years old. Why are we still being charged $60 for something that's 10 years old, you know? But that's an industry thing. I can't really argue against that, you know what I mean? Like, that's just an industry thing that Nintendo does. And I can't really say one way or the other that they should change that because they won't hear me. They're not listening to me. So... yeah, so overall, disappointed. Don't want to buy the DLC to try to change that opinion. I'd rather just be disappointed, quite honestly. Because I'd rather... okay, so here's how I feel about it, right? I'd rather be disappointed at $60 than more disappointed at $90. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean, I haven't seen my friends play the DLC, but I have friends who have played the DLC, and they started out saying, wow, this is really good, and then they just stopped talking about it. And that's not a good sign. I don't know what that means, but it's usually not a good sign when some... like, I've been burned before, okay? I played Dark Souls 2 when it came out. The vanilla version of Dark Souls 2. I was that guy. I played it, and I said after I did the opening area, I said, wow, this is really good. And then I played the rest of the game, and I just stopped talking because the rest of the game was garbage. So I know how that feels, okay? I've been that guy. I've been there and done that in the past. And that's why I don't think I'd want to buy the DLC to try and change my mind, because I'm afraid of the consequences. I've been burned before by the game industry. I won't let that happen to me again. That killed my interest in video games for like 6 months, man. It was so bad. We got to play Dark Souls 2 for the stream at some point, though, so I can talk more at length about that when we get there. For now, that's going to do it for the main story of Pokemon Violet, the stream edition. I hope you enjoyed it. There were points where I had fun with it. I don't want to make it sound like it was all bad. I got to use Interceptor and Houseplant on the same Pokemon team. That's a win in my book, you know what I mean? And there were parts of the game that I did enjoy outside of just that. So I don't want to make it sound like it was all bad, but there was a lot of it that just left a bad taste in my mouth, and that's why I can't really be anything but disappointed in it. But like I said, I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. I hope it was thorough enough. I think I covered just about everything, other than the physical capturing of the Ruinous Quartet. I can't think of anything else that I missed. Maybe there was a couple of little things that I missed, but yeah, I can't think of anything that I really... other than maybe like doing more terror raids, which we didn't really do a lot of. But yeah, I didn't really build for those, so it's a thing, you know. So, but yeah, thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you checking out the stream. Let me read the rest of this, and then I'll go. So... hitting a 7-star raid allows you to catch the Pokemon with a special mark. 7-star Mewtwo is also a thing, but we don't talk about that. Special mark? Why should I care? It sounds like more of a collector-specific thing than the gameplay. At the time, the 7-stars were all starter Pokemon. At the time, it was the only way to get the starters. Yeah, and honestly, that's a nice feature of the 7-star raids, is that they're allowing you to get Pokemon that are exclusive. Because if I remember correctly, when that happened, when the starters were there, like when they were having them as capturable in the raids at first... Pokemon Home wasn't out yet, right? Or was it just out? Something like that. But I think it wasn't out yet. And so the starters, you couldn't get them, like transfer them in to Gen 9 from Pokemon Home because it wasn't accessible yet. So, yeah, I think that's a good thing. It was alright. Joking about Nimona, melting the mountain, Larry. Yeah, melting the mountain. Oh my god. That was so silly. I love that moment. But we had our fun. And we've got 2 more episodes, I think, to go, unless we manage to finish all of the battling that we have to do in 1 episode on Saturday. But that's when we will continue with the postgame on Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So, until then, everybody, take care and have a good one. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need a shower, and then I know it's the middle of the day and the director just called me, but I think Interceptor and I are just going to, like, curl up, like let him lay here on this posh rug. I'm just gonna take a rest. I've been through a lot today.